What's shaking, ladies and gents? It's your boy, Justin B up in this month. What's shaking? Anyhow, I've been messing around or just kind of getting into the Crusades. Like, the shit is sick. I love it. And I've been watching movies, different Crusader movies, like this one I got up here. It's called King Richard and his Crusaders. It's got George Sanders. He's a guy who played Shere Khan in Jungle Book and the cartoon. Absolutely amazing. He committed suicide in the 70s. Yeah, the dude, he killed himself in the 70s. It was like a famous actor for a long, 30 years, from the 40s to the 70s. He ended up killing himself in the end. And it's a shame, too, because he was an absolutely amazing actor. He was an Englishman who I believe was raised in Russia. His parents were ambassadors or some shit like that. But dude was sick. One of my favorite actors from him. But also he played King Richard. And what's really neat is this movie is called King Richard and His Crusaders. It was written by the dude who did Ivanhoe, Wilfred of Ivanhoe. Appreciate that, London Scammer. Oh, London Scammer. So you already know, coming through with the English stuff. Yeah, George Sanders is absolutely dope. I mean, he was a genius as far as I'm concerned. But Sir Walter Scott, he was a Scotsman, so I got a little bit of love for that guy. Yeah, we'll see what he says. I'm pretty sure he got dragged on that shit for the last 24 hours. I think he's been getting dragged. But yeah, like I was saying, I've been getting into the Crusades lately, and it's like what Nick was talking about with Hitler and the Nazis, how it's like white dudes totally unrestricted by modern bullshit. They just did what they wanted to do, and they didn't apologize for it. Well, I find that the Crusades has that exact same inspirational kind of it has that inspirational feeling to it, because I think to myself, man, there's a good chance that somebody in my lineage went over to the Middle East in 1150 or 1200. It just decided they were gonna, just pick a fight with a bunch of Muslims and go to war over it. Take back Jerusalem and hold it for a century, while they just bust heads the whole time. In a totally different place, in a desert. These guys are from Scotland and England. They'd have to them, this place is hell on earth. And on the flip side of that coin, back then, those Saracens and those people in the Middle East, you ever consider those guys didn't even understand the concept of ice? Did not exist in the Middle East, in the 1200s. It's just, I was thinking about it wow, they don't even, they would think that you were lying or that you were making something up. It was they wouldn't believe you. If you tried to explain it, oh, what is ice? Frozen water, but they don't even know what frozen means. And I was watching The Kingdom of Heaven, which is another awesome movie. That's such a dope movie. And what's funny? I saw it years ago. There's George Sanders right there. Yeah. I saw it years ago, but I didn't see the director's cut. And oh my God, I saw the director's cut last week. It was absolutely amazing. It was absolutely amazing. You know, it was like an extra hour and a half longer. And like, it just made all the difference. The original, or the one that's cut, kind of sucks. Like, if you want to know my honest opinion on it, it kind of sucks ass. The other one, though, the director's cut, bro. You know, I remember seeing years ago, there was a meme, a Kingdom of Heaven meme, and it had the Baldwin, the leper king, the king of Jerusalem, and it had like, you know, that guy was a meme. His like mask was a meme, and I forget what exactly it was, and I was thinking to myself, you know, makes perfect sense, because I just saw it in passing, and I remember thinking, why the hell is a Kingdom of Heaven character a meme today? And then, you know, while I was watching, I was like, I know exactly why, because it's got that kind of the white ash European not European power, but like the European same thing with the Hitler in Germany. You know how it was just white people, unconstrained and just unashamed, unabashedly just dominant, just destructive, or not even destructive, but just badass, kicking ass. Like, these guys, they fucking sailed to the Middle East to wage war with an entire civilization. Like, just packed their shit and left on a journey, not knowing what the hell they're going to, you know, not having any clue what they're going to encounter. I mean, I'm wondering if they even knew if they even knew that they were brown, or if they thought they were going to be stumbling across people just like them, or I don't know. But I think it's a testament to that bloodline of the, you know, the Austrians, the German, like Teutonic Knights, the Knights of John, Saint John the Baptist, you know, the Hospitallers, the Templars, and there's like 6 other ones. There's also there's one for Saint Thomas Becket, who was, you know, the Archbishop of Canterbury, Thomas Becket. They made him a saint, though. He was killed by Richard I's father, but they were best friends. But he ended up having him killed. But there was like all kinds of different orders of European knights, and these guys swore a vow of chivalry. And really, you know, it's funny, people, they think chivalry has something to do with women, but that's not the case at all. It actually doesn't have anything to do with women. It has everything to do with protecting defenseless, protecting the weak, protecting the unarmed. That's what the chivalric orders were for, and chivalry was for. Women were just one group of the overarching whole, the idea of chivalric orders. Chivalry is not about women. It's literally about protecting those weaker than yourself, or standing up for them, fighting for them, not persecuting them. And that was like kind of the idea of these knights. And when they were on crusade, they protected these pilgrim caravans. You know, even the Muslim caravans, and they kept the. You know, another thing, how they say, oh, you know, the Israelis, they keep Jerusalem, you know, they make sure that everybody can come visit Jerusalem and they can pray, and this, not yet. That's how it's been since Christ. Christians have always been welcome there. Muslims were always welcome there. Jews were always welcome there. But only in the time of the Israelis, you know, occupying it or holding the land, do Christians get spat on as they walk along the road. Do other people get spat on? Man, fuck Israel. Fuck them. They're evil. They're fucking evil. And it's bullshit, the propaganda. Oh, they keep it open for everybody. Dude, Jerusalem has always been an open city. You have always had the right to go there and pray. Only now, you get spit on while you do it if you're not a dirty fucking J. I mean, it just... every time I read something else, you know, that kind of sheds some light on it, it always makes them look like shit, because they are. I mean, they keep it open. Dude, the fucking Crusaders kept it open for the Muslims. Even the Muslims or the Crusaders let the Muslims, the infidel, they let the infidel come and pray at their, at Jerusalem when they were occupying it. So it's like, you know, honestly, it's all so tiresome with the Jays in Jerusalem. So, I mean, and really, I wish, and we're all wrapped up in it. They're, you know, shaming us, like staining our country's honor and our people's honor. Really kind of has been bothering me lately. But, you know, I was reading about the Crusades, and I didn't realize there's so much more to it. And it was like a couple centuries straight of these. Like, there was more than one crusade. There was the first crusade in like the early 1100s. And then they lost Jerusalem, and that was actually the Kingdom of Heaven. That was the first crusade, I believe. And they end up losing it at the end of the 1100s. And then Richard the First of England, Richard the Lionheart, you know, Richard Coeur de Lion, that was his name in French, Richard the Lionheart, or Richard Coeur de Lion, which is, I think that was like Courage of a Lion. I think that's what that means in French. But you know, also another thing too is Saladin, their general at the time, he was also a chivalrous man. They also didn't attack unarmed pilgrims. They held up the exact same. They had the same chivalric order, basically, or the same principles. And it's so fitting, though, because, you know, like it wasn't one group fighting with their hand tied behind their back while the other group is just vicious and, you know, fighting guerrilla war. No, it wasn't like that at all. They straight up amassed their armies and then fought like gentlemen. Even the Saracens fought that way. And really, it just makes the Jays look worse, because they're like the only Abrahamic religion that are just pieces of shit, more or less. You know, and treat everybody else in the world like they're pieces of shit. They don't, which, you know, and we do as well. And now, to me, it feels like, you know, okay, well, you know, that makes sense now. You know, that's as it should be, because that's how they do everybody else. But hopefully one day, you know, they won't have it anymore. Because really, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I would imagine that's going to be the case, because Jerusalem is just one of those cities where it's constantly changing hands. You know, it's funny about this book, or this movie. It was written by Sir Walter. I had it a minute ago. He's a famous writer. He did Sir Wilfrid of Ivanhoe. Oh, Sir Walter Scott. He's a Scotsman, and he wrote in the 1700s was when he was writing. He wrote several really famous, basically knight in shining armor movies, or Middle Age movies. You know, Middle Ages, because he did King Richard and his Crusaders. He also did one called Wilfrid of Ivanhoe. Awesome movies, though. And this one, Sir Walter Scott, it's called The Talisman, the book. But the protagonist, the main character, is a Scottish knight named Kenneth of Huntington. He's like a really poor knight, and his squire is a dog and shit, but he's like the best knight in the Crusades. And even King Richard keeps him as a bodyguard, even though he hates Scotsmen, I guess. But the guy's like literally the best knight in the Crusades, and it's just, you know, it kind of feels good, you know, because he was a Scotsman himself. I just think it's kind of neat, you know, how he did books like that. He also, in the Wilfrid of Ivanhoe, or Ivanhoe the movie, it's got this guy Robert Taylor, actor from like the 40s and 50s. He plays Wilfred of Ivanhoe, and George Sanders was also in that one. The guy who plays King Richard. Right, yeah, the guy who plays King Richard. He in both those movies. But in one of them, that Wilfred of Ivanhoe, it takes place in England, like when the knights came back from the Crusades with, or no, it was when they came back from the Second Crusade while Richard was gone, and it takes place like the same, like this. Robin Hood is a character in that Ivanhoe movie. Robin Hood actually is a character. He's just a side character that helps Ivanhoe basically. But really, I'm just saying this because, you know, I just see like this, such a lack of inspirational media for us today in America, especially. Like, just take Kingdom of Heaven, for example. This movie was made in 2005. And it actually has a white protagonist. It's about white men. And they're not, they're not enslaving people and shit. Like, there's a scene in this where Orlando Bloom is like, the guy's like, you know, you won me in battle. I'm basically your slave. And he's like, no, go be on your way. And he's like, I'm like your slave. He's like, I've been a slave. I refuse to take a slave, and I won't suffer any slaves to be taken. And I was thinking to myself, wow, they would have never let that bit of the script get through because it was a white guy. It was a good person. See, they can't allow that today. No. They would have replaced him with like a Joan of Arc character or some bullshit. They would have swapped him out with a colored guy or a white woman or whatever. They would have done anything to make the fucking story about somebody else. Even though there is no somebody else. It was only white guys there. It just, and I see this all the damned time. If you watch a movie before 2010 or 2015, you can actually see movies that portray people that look like us doing great things, inspirational things like, oh, look what you can do, look what you can accomplish, and they would also have excellent romance sequences and stuff that kind of like really make you kind of like not despair, but like, you know, I would like to have a wife and kids one day. They don't do that shit anymore. But like when I see those movies, I think to myself like, wow. And they wonder why guys aren't getting married. It's like you're not even like teasing them like, oh, look what you could have. You could be living this way. You could have this somebody to love. You could have children. Like, no. They don't want to inspire us. They're just like, no, we just want you to go fucking lay in the gutter and die, if you will. And I'm just kind of hoping that we drop this bullshit. Badass fucking ship's Captain Aubrey, and like all of the characters are white guys. There isn't a woman in the whole movie. They're like, maybe I'm a fool to kind of long for those days again, but though they do make them for Chinese people, but they're making them for us, but they refuse to make a movie that we will fucking like. Like, dude, how the fuck does that make sense? Like, you know, it's kind of funny too, is I seen a guy saying the other day on X saying, white men and Arabs should never play, it was like a black guy or a African character, something or other like that. And he was responding to somebody who said a black person should never play a Viking. Because I guess there's something with a Viking that plays, a black guy playing a Viking in England or some shit. And somebody said something smart about that. And the guy, retorts. And I'm like, bro, when Africa or a black group, a black nation, a black group of people, when they start their own fucking Hollywood industry, their own Hollywood institution, like the Indians, Bollywood, when they start their own, they can cast who they want to fucking cast. Until then, shut the fuck up. Hollywood ain't for you, big dog. It ain't for you. It ain't for the Arabs. It ain't for the Indians. It ain't for Africans. It ain't for none of those people. It's for Americans. And so when people talk shit about, oh, that, how dare they, they cast a white man as an Asian, or they cast a white man as an Arab, or this and that. It's like, well, no shit. This country used to be all white people. Like, what were they going to go, like, fucking jet somebody from Saudi Arabia to play in their fucking movie? No. Not only that, if you own industry in America, stands to reason that you will fucking employ Americans, right? I mean, am I out of line here? Stands to reason that you're not going to employ somebody from another fucking country. And really, it kind of pisses me off. Like Hollywood, the way they do it nowadays, they'll recast a character, a comic character, or whatever, a character that was white in whatever, the book, whatever it is. And then they get a wild hair up their ass, like, oh, we're really gonna jerk a knot in their tail. We'll fucking cast a colored guy as this. That's what we'll do. It's like, you motherfuckers, man. Because in America, movies should be made for Americans. They should be written by Americans, made by Americans, and they should employ Americans. Not colored people from another country. For us. It's like, and who else would play those characters? It's like Othello, the Shakespeare play. It's about a black guy. Othello, black guy, black general in Venice. And of course, it's played by white men. Laurence Olivier, as one anyway. And then also Orson Welles played him in like the 40s. And it's like, you can get upset about that, black people, but look, Shakespeare probably had maybe seen one or two black people in his whole lives, but he wanted to write a story and tell a story that, required a black guy as the protagonist. So he does this, but he doesn't have any black actors to choose from. He writes the story to tell a story, or to tell a story, and he wanted to tell one with a black protagonist. And he has every right to, just like black people have every right to write a story about a white guy and make that movie. Nobody's stopping them from making that movie. But no. That's not what they want. See, they want our fucking movie industry. They want our movie industry. They want to fucking twist and contort and fucking ruin our fucking movies. Like, never mind what we like. Never mind the kind of stories we want to hear. Never mind the kind of people we want to see tell those stories. And that's why Hollywood's fucking dying. And it's, to my mind, it's absolutely a damn shame because, man, dude, they inspired us to do great things. They inspired us to go fight overseas, to fly, to go to the fucking moon, to have children. Like, and I feel like the modern era has just totally forgotten that people need to be inspired. Like, the muse, that idea is old. It's like as old as fucking Homer. I think it's a Greek mythological a muse. That's like a Greek deity or a mythological figure. They've been around for hundreds or thousands of years, and they're necessary. They are necessary, obviously, because we have nothing to inspire us. Not anything new, anyhow. Unless you think Barbie is inspiring. I guess if you're a woman, a white woman, or a woman, I mean, it's empowering, whatever the fuck that means. I guess it's empowering. I mean, although to my mind, empowering, that's like a euphemism for, like convincing women to commit suicide, more or less, or convincing women to just like be miserable and pick the most miserable fucking lifestyle they could. Like, seriously. And all of our movies, they're just trash. Like, like I said, I'm a movie buff. I've probably seen every movie since the Oscars existed. Every single movie that's been nominated for an Oscar. Well, up until like 2005, 2010. After that, they weren't really. They're doing all these stupid artistic French auteur movies with like gay black kids in Miami and stupid shit like that. But like up until like 2005, the shit was off the chain. You know, like what Titanic was winning like a lot of good movies were, you know, or Gangs of New York, I think got nominated for an Oscar. The Gladiator got an Oscar, Best Picture, I think, because it was fucking dope. But now that I think of it, like with that dude, Ridley Scott, this dude did Robin Hood, Kingdom of Heaven, Gladiator, the original Gladiator. These all had white protagonists. Yeah, they had a black guy in them, or at least Gladiator did. But the main character was a white dude. And they were fucking awesome movies. Awesome. And then Cinderella Man, another one with Russell Crowe, another excellent movie. I was watching that one last night, and I was thinking, another inspirational flick, another excellent flick that was inspirational, showing how a down-and-out Irishman in New Jersey had been kicked around by the Great Depression and shit, you know, been injured a few times and hurt. This guy bounces back and wins the heavyweight title of the world in like the end of his career, like in his 30s. They would never make that movie today. They would never make a movie that showed a white guy with humanity, showed a white guy struggling and trying to be a good person, like teaching his son not to steal. That's not cool. You can't do that. No matter how bad things are, we don't steal. No. That casts white guys in way too good of a light. See, people might identify with that. You see, people might think that white people are humans. You see, we can't allow that. People got to see them as villains, 24 hours, 7 days a week. I mean, dude, it's so tiresome. I'm not gonna lie, man. The shit, I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but man, it wears me down, man. It wears me down to the point where I'm like, should I even continue? Should I even keep enduring? What am I enduring for? It seems like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. We just keep getting stomped on by these cocksuckers. Just stomped on, and they're like holding us down, or stepping on our heads while we're like trying to keep our head above water, while they fucking help some colored guy up into some job or some position that was afforded to us in our fucking country. And it's just like, dude, from all directions, we're getting kicked, stomped, held down, fucking foot on our head, foot on our windpipe, whatever you want to say, just from every direction, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. How can we fucking make these guys, how can we destroy their morale anymore? How can we demoralize this group of men? How can we do it? How can we fucking strangle them? I mean, they're doing it to England too, and France. Like, they're just choking us to death, man. While they bring in people, laugh in our face about it. Ha 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 ha. We're taking all your shit. How do you like that, asshole? Yeah. Ha. And it's just, we get, like, I was watching Sargona McLeod, and he was talking about how all their educational system, all the institutions, totally discriminate against English boys in elementary school, or primary school. They're like half as likely to get into university. They don't even have a scholarship for blue collar kids or kids from rough back, or from poor areas or poor backgrounds. They used to, here in America, we've never really had that, because they really only started doing all the grants and the different I forget what the fuck they call them when they give you money for free to go to school. Scholarships. They did scholarships And when they gave scholarships to the poor and poor people, it's always for minorities. Always. For minorities. Because white people can't be from a fucking rough background, you see. White people don't struggle, you see. They're gods, you know, they're just this special class that, you know, they don't need no help. They don't need a leg up. They're just out just destroying it, you know, kicking ass and taking names. Well, they're not doing, like, even in England, they used to have scholarships for poor white kids. Not no more. They got rid of that shit. They got rid of it. And it's like, bro, in their own country, their own government is like, yeah, we've declared war on England in 20 years. You know, we're just going to destroy our own country 20 years from now. Because that's what you're doing when you fucking discriminate against the majority population of your country. You're waging the majority, you know, like the kids. You're waging war on the future. That's what you're doing, necessarily. You know, and later on down the road, when these poor kids, when they can't hardly read and they can't get a fucking job because they held all those boys down so they could benefit all the people from all other places in the world, so that they could give them the positions of authority. Like, does that make any sense? We're gonna hold down our boys that are that we birthed, we brought into the world. We're not gonna let them learn. We're not gonna give them scholarships. But hey, fellas from Nigeria, come on in. We got a fresh spot for you. We just took it from this white lad. Come on in, guys. I mean, right now, the leader of their conservative party is a fucking Nigerian, bro. A Nigerian woman. Like, man, when are we gonna fucking stand up and say enough? Fuck you guys. I mean, they're just gonna keep pushing until people are like, fine then, you know, lock and load, gentlemen. I mean, that's where they're gonna push people. I mean, because when I was 18 or 20, trying to make it in the world, they had all these grants, all this money that they're just handing out, just fucking handing out money, loads of it, to everybody but a white man, everyone, as though I was a criminal or something. I'm 18 years old, and they're like, no, we don't have anything for you, bud. You're too privileged. Like, my parents are fucking regular people. Neither has a college degree, okay? And somehow I'm privileged? Like, I went to school with Doc Rivers as kids, for Christ's sake. You're telling me I'm privileged? I went to school with black kids that fucking live in a million, you know, like, I mean, I'm not knocking them or anything, but like, those kids were privileged. Like, I knew Austin Rivers. I met the dude. I met his older brother, Jeremiah Rivers. I met Callie Rivers, their sister. Shit, I had gym with that chick. And they say I'm privileged, but not her. You see, she gets government fucking scholarships and grants. Even though her, like, it's just fucked, man. It's totally fucked. This isn't meritocracy. So anytime anybody says, oh, we need to maintain the meritocracy, I'm like, what meritocracy would it be that you're talking about? Or is that like have you redefined that word, where meritocracy now means discrimination, reverse discrimination, where it's we discriminate against this group of white boys because we, you know, years back, some people that looked similar to them discriminated on some people that didn't look like them. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with me? What does it have to do with me? But, you know, I've just seen all these other, like I said, Doc Rivers and his kids fucking, they're not privileged, but I am. But I am. That's fucking outrageous, man. It's fucking outrageous. I mean, it just really pisses me off. It's like this whole society, the culture, it's like you could just flush this motherfucker down the toilet at this point, because it doesn't fucking do me no fucking favors at all. None. It goes out of its way to shit on me. Every time they make a movie, they make sure that it's shitting on me. Inglourious Bastards, white people are the villains. Jewish women and Jewish men are the fucking heroes. And Jewish women and black men, and Jewish men, they're the heroes. They won World War II, you see. They defeated Hitler. They shot him in a fucking a balcony box, you know, a box up in a fucking movie theater. They fucking rewrite history so that I'm the villain, but not the guy who, like we're going to rewrite history so that white people didn't win World War II. We're going to rewrite it so that the people who were hurt by World War II the most, we're going to make it so they win. And then we're going to make the guys who won World War II, we're going to make them into the villains. Ooh, goody. They did the same fucking thing with Django, too. They did the exact same thing with Django. Totally rewrote the movie where, you know, instead of having a white guy as the lead, has a black guy, which, I mean, I don't really care. I think the movie was good, but now, years later, when I look back on it and I see what they were doing in the meta, like what they were doing metaphysically with the movie, they were saying, fuck white people, they're evil, and history went down in a way we think was wrong. So we're gonna change it around, and we're just gonna make this whole movie. We're gonna make it take place back then, but we're gonna flip it all the way around so that those guys get shit on the whole time. Because they're so evil and so dastardly. Such a dastardly group of men. That, you know, we're going to make a movie about them getting shit on the whole time. There's not one character that's redeemable. Or, well, I guess the German guy. But, you know, almost no characters that were white were even redeemable. Same thing with Inglourious Bastards. Every fucking German in that movie, every white guy but fucking Brad Pitt was a scumbag. Brad Pitt and the Englishman, and I guess Mike Myers' part, and Rod Taylor's part. But it's just like, they don't make movies with white heroes anymore. What the fuck, man? In my own country. And it's not like I'm in another country that belongs to another group. No. This is my country, started by my people, and I'm not even allowed to feel comfortable here. I must feel like a piece of shit here. That's how these people, that's how they think. No, we got to make them feel like shit. They can't feel comfortable in their own country. We have to make the minorities feel comfortable, you see, even though they have their own fucking countries to feel comfortable in. Indians have India, for Christ's sakes. There's no fucking India I don't have a second country to jump into or, you know, to go to. Like, if the United States fails, do you think these fucking people are going to hang around? You know, if there's no work, you know, the economy crashes, there's no work, and it becomes like a Venezuela type situation, do you think Indians are going to stick around and help us rebuild it? If you believe that, you're out of your fucking mind. They're going home. If it doesn't benefit them to be here, they're going to go back and be with their people. They don't want to fucking be here around us. They're here to take with both fucking hands, man. That's what these motherfuckers are here for. And the fact that we have these people on high are going to privilege them over me. You're going to give my country away to these people when they don't give a shit about this country. As soon as it's more effort than they get from the squeeze, they're gone. They're out of here. As soon as they don't get as much, you know, the squeeze isn't worth the juice, they're gone. They're going home. The Venezuelans, they're going home. They're going home. They're not staying here. The Mexicans, you think they're going to stay here and starve? You're fucking crazy. None of these people are going to do that. They're here to fuck us, to take what they can, get both hands full, and feed it back to their fucking country whenever they need to. They'll stick around. They'll probably stick around for a few generations. But mark me, if we fall or we aren't doing, or if all of a sudden our fucking standard of liberty drop, our standard of living drops, bro, they're going to be gone like that, dude. It'd be like Wile E. Coyote in a puff of goddamn dust, bro. Gone. Laughing at us while they're leaving too. So why the fuck do we let these motherfuckers giving our shit out? We only have finite resources. We don't have never-ending shit. And these people are handing it out fucking hand over fist. And as soon as that shit runs out, they're going to beat it. They're eating what we have to eat. And then when they've eaten everything off of our plate, they're going to start eating off their plate, you see. They're just here getting what they can while the buffet's open, while the gravy They're dipping their biscuit in that gravy while it's still hot. And man, it needs to get uncomfortable for those people. Okay, if it ain't going to be uncomfortable for them in college, our institutions and our government is going to, fucking whisper sweet nothings in their ear and fucking stroke their hair and shit. We need to make it uncomfortable for them. Like, fuck you people. Like, no fucking thank yous, no have a nice day, or nah, man. Fuck that, dude. Fuck that. It's one thing for African Americans. Those people, they're here. They're, as far as I'm concerned, they're the only people that are in this fucking bucket with us. Because they ain't got no other place to go neither. They're here for the fucking long haul. They're here whether they like it or not, whether things are going good or not. They're here with us. And I wish that we could fucking kind of unite, you have like that common. I mean, because they really are. They have no place else to go, just like us. They got nowhere else to go. They got to make this place work. They can't shit where they eat here because they got to make this work. Hell yes, it is a white Anglo-Saxon country. We have to make this place work. Why are we like Vivek Ramaswamy? This dude marries an Indian woman, names all of his kids Indian names. Bro, you ain't an American, dude. You're naming your kids. You're like, you're keeping that shit in your back pocket. You're naming your kids and you're marrying as if you're thinking long term. Like, well, me and my kids, we may get thrown out of this country one day. We may need to go back to India. So I better stick with an Indian broad and have kids with Indian names. That way, if we need to go back, we're not a mutt. We're not going to get caught in between. Bro, and it's like, well, if that's how you're going to live your life, then you can beat it, motherfucker. People that marry into the fucking country that, an Indian woman comes here, like, JD Vance. I mean, I think it's kind of whack. I think he's a race traitor, but like the fact that they name their kids like Indian names is bullshit. But she has anteed up. She has kicked in the pot. She is fucking anteed up, man. He's come to America and said, okay, I'm going to mix my blood with these people. I am going to buy into this nation. I'm going to buy in. Same thing with Nikki Haley. He bought in. Her son has blue fucking eyes, for Christ's sakes. I mean, he looks, he's a little swarthy. The dude is, I can't fault him, She did the right thing. Her parents did the right thing. They came here and they anteed up, man. They kicked in. They kicked in their fucking DNA or whatever, however you want to put it, They, and they have bought into our community. They have bought in with blood. You know what I mean? That truly is, when somebody married, like, and that's how tribes used to do it back in the day, or noblemen and shit. You would marry your daughter off to the next clan or to the next tribe, so that you and that tribe got along. You would, you would not sacrifice, but you would say, hey, we're going to join blood here. That way, we're all one family at that point. We're going to be one family after that. And to me, that's exactly what Nikki Haley did, although I don't like her, but that is what she did. That's exactly what JD or Usha Vance did. That's what a lot of people do. My brother, he has a Cuban wife. That's what she's done. It's absolutely, that's perfectly acceptable. Absolutely. I mean, that's like the definition of assimilation. I mean, that's what's supposed to happen. You're not supposed to come here and fucking make some little population that never mixes with the country they're living in. No, you're supposed to disperse and just be absorbed genetically, more or less. Be absorbed by the community. And these people that don't do that, they got to go, man. Like, that's my fucking criteria for the people that get to stay. Yeah. Do you have any Americans in your fucking lineage? No? Then you're going home, motherfucker. You're going home. Sorry, but that is what. No, sorry, not sorry. How about that? You fucking came here and you thought you were just going to take with both hands? No. You can beat it on back to India. I mean, our people fought civil wars, multiple civil wars, before before politically we were ready for democracy. You had the English Civil War in the 1500s with Oliver Cromwell, and they got rid of their king for a few years. But you had that Civil War. We had 2,000 or 1,000 years of civil strife people fighting and politically fighting, getting violent with each other over politics until we discovered democracy and started using democracy. And it worked for us, but it took us 1,000 years to get to that point, to become civilized enough to where we could, hash out issues without violence. And these other countries like India, or these other people, they're like, you know what? I want to live like that. I want to live in a democracy like that, but I don't want to work for it. You see, I don't want, I want it now. I want to jump the line. I want it now. So I'm going to go to America. No, fuck you. We paid our dues to get to the democracy stage. Pay your fucking dues. Build up your country. You want a country like America? Fucking build it. You want a political system like America? Fucking build it. You're human beings just like us. Just like us. What the fuck makes you think you're so special that you get to jump the line? That you just get to feed off of our shit, our what we've earned, our benefits. What the fuck? Why do these people think why do we have, why are we so fucking arrogant to think, that we're just so special? We could just let anybody come on in, that anybody can come on in and we'll just, we'll absorb them and, things will just continue on as they always. No, fuck no. These people a lot of these people, they're not cultured enough to really do the democracy thing. Like you look at Iraq, we tried. Them people, they just ain't with it. Most countries in the world, they're not with it. It takes a long time for people to become, for the culture to adapt to where people can live and coexist without violence. They can solve issues without violence. It just, the stuff, it takes a long damn time, and it pisses me off how there's so much wrong with the world right now. As far as America and I'm like us as people, the whole world is basically set up to fuck us, to extract shit from us, to take from us, to take our birthright, to take money, economics, just to take. They're just taking from us, disadvantaging us. After my fucking people, your people worked for this shit for 1,000 fucking years, and now they just are fucking politics. They're just going to give it away. They're just going to give it away. Just fuck it. We're just going to give it. It's nothing special. They can have it too. And they don't even work for it. It's lost on them. Do you think these Mexicans really give a shit about democracy? They're here to make a buck. They don't give a shit about voting and democracy. When Reagan, when they did the amnesty in the 80s, I think it was only 30% of the fucking illegals in America actually took the opportunity to become citizens. The other 70% were like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. You can keep that bullshit. I'm good. I don't want to vote. So it's like a total fucking joke, man. It's like, we know what they're here for. We know what they're doing. And we did know. We just keep getting gaslit. It took me up until a couple years ago to realize the shit they were pulling on us. I mean, honestly, I was kind of oblivious to what things were, till I was 30, I was oblivious to everything, basically. But man, I just really feel like I'm just being held down by the world, that there's no freedom. There's no real liberty. Seriously, you can. I remember when I was a kid, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up, Justin? What do you want to do? I want to be a teacher, or, I want to be an astronaut, or I want to be a firefighter. Bro, not nary one of those fucking jobs is even a possibility for me today. I can't be a teacher. They laughed me out of the fucking office. I tell you, you're crazy. You can't be. You're a white guy. You can't teach kids. Are you kidding me? This is a white woman or women only job, and pretty much white women only job. Go ahead and step back, bud. Nurses too. Same thing. It's all these different industries and careers that when I was a kid it was a possibility. It's not even a fucking. They don't even tease kids with that shit anymore, saying, "What do you want to be when you grow up, Jimmy?" They don't even fucking tease those white kids with that shit anymore. They don't, because we're not gonna get their hopes up and then jerk that shit right out from under their nose. No, we're not gonna. That's cruel. We did that to the last two decades of generations. I mean, it just, man. And they wonder why people aren't getting married or men aren't doing the stuff they used to do. I won't say not doing as good, because I'm pretty sure that isn't the case. But like, more women are going to college today, and honestly, I don't see that as a bad thing. College is worthless. The degree is worthless. If women want to go into debt for $100,000 and go piss it down the drain on a piece of paper that nobody places any stock in, more power to them. That's kind of what they're doing. No fucking businesses give a shit about degrees anymore. They don't mean anything. It's kind of like this stuff. It's kind of it's a figment of people. It's a figment of people's imaginations. And yeah, it makes women feel good amongst themselves. Like, oh, look at this degree I got. But when they try to tell us, oh, I got a degree, it's like, I don't care. I care less. They try to tell a job, oh, I have a degree. Yeah, you and the other fucking 200 women have a degree. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? They sent everybody to college. Those are dime a dozen now. And I think, honestly, men just saw the scam that it was earlier. And we're like, yo, this ain't work. Because that's what I said when I was like 20. I was like, I did 2 semesters and I was like, bro, this is bullshit. This is garbage. I'm not even learning nothing. I'm not learning shit, and it's costing me my, fuck this. And I stopped. And I think that's what most men are doing. It's just, you don't get a return on your investment. And we all see it. Women complain like, oh my God, like, I can't get a job getting out. They're stuck with debt. And typically men, are more or less the, not the explorers, but they're the avant-garde, the vanguard. They're the cutting edge. They go out into new industries, go out into new fields, and blaze trails, because it's kind of dangerous not dangerous, but like it's not stable. It's like, you don't know what's going to happen. In year 2000, going into the video, or 95, 2000, going into the video game field, you didn't know if that was going to blow up or not. Like, it hadn't blown up. They were still making bullshit games. Like when new like AI and shit. That's when it's fledgling, when it's still fresh. Nobody knows what's going to happen. You have to, it takes men getting into the industry, into the field, and actually, cutting their teeth, wetting their beak on it before anybody knows if it's going to be big or if it's going to be lucrative. That's when women start coming into the industry. And I'm not saying that to denigrate anybody. I'm just saying that's the way it goes. Like directors, there was a couple female directors in the silent era, and then there's almost like no women directors for like a century. And then all of a sudden they quit. They start discriminating against white men, and now they're all female directors. But it's also a dying industry. Hollywood is dying. Movies are dying. And that's what I'm saying, is men are usually a little bit ahead of the curve. Men left movies because they're dying. And where did they go? Video games. And women, they tend to lag a little bit behind men, on the cultural stuff, music or jobs, things like that. They tend to, they're not as ingenious, they're not as inventive. And like video games, that's starting to kind of die off a little bit. Like I don't think it's going to be long for this earth, especially with AI and all that shit. We'll be doing like the Apple Vision, or maybe augmented reality or virtual reality. But like, it seems like as soon as when men leave the industry, because men will will give prestige to an industry, like like Hollywood. Hollywood had some real prestige going into the new millennia, into the 2000s. They fucking totally squandered it. They started, cramming down woke bullshit on it. And now it's dying. And now that it is dying, the men leave. They're like, this isn't fun anymore. I don't really get to be creative anymore. So they move on to a different industry. And the women, they gladly take their place. Oh, I'll make a movie, you know, and Barbie and this, that, and the other. But it's a dying industry. And I really, if you look in history, that's kind of the deal, you know, is men tend to be the ones that take chances. We all know this. You know, men take chances for better or for worse. You know, sometimes it don't work out, sometimes it does. You know, I think overwhelmingly men are the ones that trade stocks, shit like that. They take chances, and that's how new shit gets started. New industries, new products. Really, that's like the engine of America, is the inventions and the creating value from nothing. You know, creating products that people want to buy. You know, intellectual property. And you know, we're just, I forget where I was actually going with that that little tirade on the men, you know, kind of being the first ones in stuff. But it just pisses me off, you know. Like, we're just getting kicked from every direction. We're getting shit on from every direction. And you know, honestly though, like, they say, oh, there's a loneliness epidemic. I think that's horse shit. I think men, honestly, in history, men historically, most men didn't pass on their genes. Most men were either killed before they had kids or never got married or had kids. So really, not having kids is the rule, not the exception, historically. Maybe in the last century it's the exception, but since Christ, it's the exception. Most men didn't have kids. Most men died without passing on their genetics. So that doesn't, I don't think I think that loneliness stuff is bullshit. I'm not lonely. I don't give a damn. But also, others, oh, they try to say, oh, they're lagging behind this and that. That's bullshit. Men aren't lagging behind. They're just not occupying the same parts of society as they used to. They're starting businesses, YouTube channels. And like YouTube was another industry that men got into first. And or like video games for sure. I remember when video games was a guy thing. If you sat inside and played video games all day, you were a nerd, loser, dork. You were a dork. And women be like, video game, why are you playing video games? Now women play video games as much as men do. And that's what I mean by guys are kind of in the cutting edge. They're willing to take the slings and arrows to do stuff they enjoy. It doesn't have to be socially acceptable for guys to get into it. And I don't see, I think men are just in they're going down different trails. Instead of going to college and trying to be a doctor or trying to be in marketing or a consultant or an accountant, they're just foregoing that and starting businesses. They're going out into the world and blazing a trail. They're just like, fuck these institutions. They're discriminating against me anyways. And they're robbing the people who are going to, or, you know, people going to college are getting fucking robbed. Most people aren't getting value for their money. I mean, it's crooked as a barrel of snakes, if you ask me. The whole college fucking degrees and the fucking, the student loans, that is a fucking scam, man. That is an evil and a dirty fucking trick to play on the youth. Get them to fucking indent themselves so they're like an indentured fucking servant for their life. It's fucked up. And I feel like men are just a little bit too astute to really fall for that. Like, I'm good. Like, and also they're not swayed and lulled by the social benefits of it. Because, you know, you go to college, you're going to college, the whole society is like, oh, how great, you're out there kicking ass going to college. Women kind of buy into that, like that, you know, they're much more social than guys. And so the social accolades and the social, you know, people saying that it's a good thing, women, they crave that more than men, you know. And women would be willing to pay a little bit extra if they got more social credit. And it'd be like, fuck that. Fuck you. I'm not going into debt just so people pat me on the back and kiss my ass on that shit. And you know, it's just the whole narrative of like, oh, this loneliness epidemic. That's bullshit, man. it was a loneliness epidemic, dudes would be out there doing something about it. That's what would be happening. If there was a loneliness epidemic amongst men, they would be out doing something about it. Unfucking that fucked situation. That's what they would be doing. But they're not, and I'll tell you why they're not. Because it ain't a fair trade anymore. Ain't a fair trade. Juice just ain't worth the squeeze no more. Women like, why won't guys come up to me? Why won't guys approach me? Because women, as it stands, you know, on a baseline level, it's not worth it. You got to be special to be worth it, sweetheart. You got to be special. Like, if you're just a regular woman, I'm not even going to talk to you, because it's like, chances are she's just a cunt, and I'm just going to get beat up on it. You know, like, not physically, but like, I'm just going to get beat up mentally, stolen from, or fucked with, or what. It's just going to not work out in my fucking benefit. So a woman literally has to make herself attractive. Like, hey, I'm not like them. Hey, I can offer more than the baseline. I'm not offering just the baseline. You know, I mean, that's really what that is. Like, oh, why aren't they approaching? Because they know, you know, this stuff is a scam. Women, it's a scam. Like, your average woman they just want to take. take. And that's a scam. So if a woman wants a guy, she has to proactively show that guy that, hey, I am not a scam. I'm offering such, this, that, and the other. I'm submissive. I'll make a good home for you. I'll raise your kid, you know, do a damn good job being a mother for your kid. You know, they have to make it worthwhile. So men aren't going out of their, because when women were a good deal, when a man sees a woman, oh, I want a woman. I want to get with that one. You know, she's just one woman out of thousands. I want to get with her because having a wife is a good deal. She will split the work with me. You know, it won't be life will be easier with her. Not anymore. Guys look at a woman and they go, life will be way fucking harder with that cunt. I'm good. I'm good. But, however, if she does come up and she totally kind of, flips his whole idea of women and modern women on its head, like she's submissive, she's sweet, she has a good demeanor, and the guy is all, men want to see the goods before they're not buying sight unseen anymore. They got to see the goods. You got to have the goods, honey. You got to have the goods, or I'm not even paying you no mind. You ain't even going to get a fucking word out of me. I'm just going to look at you and keep it moving. So, that is what it is. And it's like, you start talking to a woman, she passes the first test, like she's not a bitch. Okay, she's got this much, but let's see, maybe she's a bitch, or maybe there's something else. What am I missing here? And there's just one test after another. And it's going to take that woman like a year or two to convince that guy that she isn't a bitch and that she's not going to, fleece him. She's not going to just fucking rob him blind. It's going to take some time. She's going to have to convince him that that's not her. It's no longer the old days where guys, their idea of a woman was what it is now. A good woman, submissive or caring, not constantly arguing with him, constantly fucking questioning him. How do you know that? What makes you think that? Why do you, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, oh my God, I fucking know it. I shouldn't have to explain everything to you. Why can't you just trust me? Like men had that idea of women. So it's like, and when women were that way, like guys' moms, or back then anyway, years ago, they didn't have to prove to a guy that they were a good person. Guys just naturally assumed it because most women were. But today, you do have to prove it, hon. You do have to prove it. Because all your colleagues, all your peers, they're sluts. They're bitches. They don't know when to shut the fuck up. They don't know how they don't know how, it's like they can't help but be disrespectful. Like my grandmother, sometimes I think to myself, like, man, I wonder what she's quite old too. She's in her early 80s. I think to myself, like, what all does she think about modern women? Because, like, I see women fighting on the internet, fighting other people, and or these women protesting in Minneapolis. I'm thinking, like, what does my grandmother think of that? Like, what does my grandmother think of that? Like, because my grandmother, she wouldn't even drive when it was raining. Like, I'm just saying, like, she didn't feel safe driving when it was raining, so she didn't go anywhere when it was raining. Versus nowadays, where women are picking fights with cops. That's those are worlds of difference. Like my grandfather was kind of a hard ass, but my grandmother, she never really. And I remember thinking, man, that was kind of mean, Grandpa. But like, she didn't fucking ride him over that or give him shit about it. He would get upset. She loved him and understood that was a part of him, and he didn't mean any harm because he did love her, like if me or a cousin or something had cussed at my grandmother, boy, he would have fucked us. I got my ass whooped by my grandfather when I was like 9 or 10. He fucking tackled me. I smarted off to him and he fucking just ran up behind me and fucking straight up fucking football tackled me. Like a 60-something-year-old dude football tackling a 9-year-old. I walked away slick as a button. The next thing you know, I turned my head, turned away. Next thing you know, I'm face first in the fucking grass. Don't you ever fucking talk to me like that, you little fuck. Like, oh man. He went off. But like my grandmother, her job was, I guess, to make his life a little bit easier. She didn't ever work. She raised my dad and his 6 sisters. But like, she made his life better. Like, and that's kind of why, I'm not really all that in a hurry to get married. Because, when I find a woman that's half as good as my grandmother, that's the day I'll get married. That's the day I'll get married. And I mean, straight up. Because I know what a good woman looks like. I know how a good woman treats her husband. I know what that shit looks like. Both my grandparents were like that. Both sets. And my grandmother, I love her to death. She's an amazing person. I played cards with her since I was like 8. We would like sit around and eat licorice snaps and play cards together. I love my grandmother. She's probably one of the greatest women I've ever known. And, she was very simple too. And she would, and she's smart as a whip though, but she's not assuming. She's not constantly assuming shit. And, like women today are, constantly, butting heads with men, constantly wanting to argue with men, wanting to assert themselves. Like, that's not how I think it's a damn shame, that, and that's what I mean though, when I say men back then, women, men took it for granted that a woman was like that she was gonna be like that. She was gonna be a good wife, a good mother, that she was going to let him lead and not question him every day, not question him with every decision he made. Whereas nowadays, it's like, dude, my idea of women is just, like, you can't deal with them, you cannot deal with them. They're just totally unreasonable. And a woman is going to have to be proactive, come up to me and convince me that she's not like that. Because I'll tell you what, I'm not going out of my way to get my fucking head bit off. Not going out of my way to have some bitch disrespect me in the public. You got me fucked up if you think I'm gonna do some dumb shit like that. Oh, and then lose half my shit, or have her are you not gonna pay for this dinner? You're not gonna pay for that? You're not gonna pay for this? You're not gonna pay for that? It's like, like marriage, that's basically, I'm gonna pay for everything for the rest of my life, for the rest of that marriage. I'm in no fucking rush to start paying for shit. Literally, the day we get married is the day I'm on the hook for everything. Not just half, not just a few things, for everything. So why in the fuck am I gonna rush to just start paying? Well, I'm just like some fucking walking wallet. Go fucking piss up a rope. Pound sand, how about that? And it's just gonna be like that until something changes. And right now we're in this shitty era where we have this positive feedback loop going where men are, it's funny because I was thinking about this in like a real life scenario, like where, you know, like in the, like with politics, it's like people, they try to fix a problem by focusing on one thing, or like, oh, you know, we're going to fix this by only, you know, by attacking white men. You know, we're not even going to pay attention to women. We're going to attack, you know, it's the white men. They're the evil ones. We're going to attack them. Meanwhile, it's, you know, they beat that horse to death. They beat that horse to death where the white men, they're just like in a corner huddled. And they refuse to even look at the women, even though the women are over there with some fucking crazy ass backward, positive feedback loop shit where it's just like this. It's a negative loop where it just gets worse. Like that's what we're going through right now. We're the fucking problem. Oh, if people aren't getting married, it's the men. They need to step it up. They need to step it up and just be better. Just be better. You gotta be better men. Why aren't you stepping up, man? You gotta be better. When the fuck are you gonna say that one time to one fucking female? Bro, it's like a taboo subject. We can't even question women. I'm sorry, they're beyond reproach. How could you even insinuate that women could be a part of the problem here? Well, they are a part of the fucking problem. They're insane. It's absurd. And it's them, and it's this positive feedback loop of women. We all know it. Yes, queen. Oh, yes, girl. Oh, you don't need him, girl. Fuck him. You need a better king. But fuck, man, it's bullshit. They do all this fucking bullshit where they're literally reinforcing bad behavior, reinforcing just bad shit, reinforcing it so that we get more. We get more. That's what a positive feedback loop is, where, you know, like with a wildebeest or a herd in Africa. This is how I had it explained to me. Was like a wildebeest herd in Africa. When, let's say, a lion jumps out at them, it causes some of those wildebeest to take off running. Well, when they see somebody else running, they immediately start running. Well, what happens when the cat gets his kill and it leaves? Those wildebeest just keep getting each other scared and running. And, you know, they can't stop because they just see other wildebeest running. So they keep going. That's what a positive feedback loop is. When, you know, the whatever the feedback you're getting, gets you to go back and do the same, or like a boot loop on computers, but you know, it just gets you to go back into the same behavior, and you can't get out of the fucking loop. You can't stop it. That's what women are in right now. They're in this bullshit positive feedback loop, and they beat us to death trying to fix this problem that we're not creating anymore. It's like, yo, you have beat us to death. You've beat us down. Like, we're just like, leave us be. Stop. You can have the jobs. You can have the political positions. You can have the authority. Just leave us alone. Stop. Just let us be. You know, we don't care if you make movies about us anymore. We don't care if you make books. We don't care if you talk shit about us. We don't care if you make us the villains and everything. Just leave us be. That's where we're at right now. That is literally where we're at right now. And they've not once taken an introspective look at themselves. It's just cunt journalists after cunt journalists. Where are the men? Oh, men go off to fight in World War II. Women most affected. Men go off to war to die. Women most affected. They're alone and they're at home. They don't have husbands and they don't have having kids. What are we ever gonna do? The women don't have kids. It's like, bro, fuck us, huh? That's our value, I guess, in society. We're just, there is no value there. It's fucking absurd, man. It's this fucking crazy clown world we live in. And it seems like it's not getting no better neither. And it's just this fucking positive feedback loop. Nobody. When was the last time you heard somebody say, "Oh, you know, women, they're really contributing to the problem too"? ever in your life? Have you ever heard that one time? I sure as shit haven't. Like, they're women can be a part of the problem. Women are fucking angels. Didn't you know? Don't you know? You see, they're angels. They produce children, you see? They're perfect beings. They're angelic beings. They never did wrong before. I mean, it just fucking... It's so galling now. It's my entire life has been nothing but this. As soon as I turned 18, bam, Obama gets into office, and it's this for the rest of my fucking life. Just, I'm the problem. I'm the problem when it comes to everything. Me as a white man, I am the problem. I'm black people's problem. I'm Spanish people's problem. I'm women's problem. Even though, like, I've had like 2 girlfriends in my entire fucking life, and that was like over a decade ago. Somehow I'm still the problem. Oh, I see. Like, bro, I could literally leave my house never for a year. I'm still the fucking problem. Somehow they've fucking figured out this crazy clown world where no matter what I do, I am the problem. So it's like, what's the point of even trying? We've just retreated to a place of safety, and we're just waiting out the storm. That's what it is. We're just waiting out the storm. Okay, he's live. All right. I was running out of shit to talk about. Oh, man. I didn't read not a one of those 9 or 800, or I don't know. How many chats was that? It was a lot of chats. But I didn't read one. Like, not to be a dick, I just, if I read one, it would get me off of what I was talking about, so. See how many chats that was.
Good evening, everybody. You're watching America First. My name is Nicholas J. Fuentes. We have a great show for you tonight. Very excited to be back here with you tonight on Tuesday. We have a lot to talk about tonight, lots to get into. Big show. Our featured story, we're talking all about the Iranian nuclear negotiations, which took place on Friday morning in Oman. We talked a little bit about it last night. I was going to cover it, but we spent like 45 minutes talking about the Super Bowl halftime show, so we didn't really have any time.
My goodness.
But I'd like to spend some ample time talking about it tonight. And I'm surprised it's not getting more coverage. We are in basically the exact same predicament with Iran that we were in exactly a year ago, which is we are hurtling towards a war. There is once again a last-minute, last-ditch effort to negotiate our way out of this. And just like last year, there's really no evidence that that is going to happen. And as a matter of fact, it actually seems impossible. And there's 2 reasons for this. One, the positions of the United States and Iran remain irreconcilable. One, so Friday there was the United States meeting and Iran remain irreconcilable, considering the significance of it. So Friday there was Iran's foreign minister and our special envoy Steve Witkoff, considering the significance of it. They got together, and between Iran's foreign minister 4 or 5 days later, special envoy and Steve Witkoff, and the 2 positions have not budged. They got together, and here we are 4 or 5 days later. And the 2 positions have not budged since a year ago.
Hell yeah.
Specifically concerning Iran's enrichment of uranium. For Iran, it is a red line. They insist on keeping their enriched uranium and their ability to enrich uranium. For the United States, it's the exact same thing on the opposite side. We require that they relinquish their enriched uranium.
No, the Jays require it, actually.
And eventually
we don't
give it up altogether. So that's number 1. It's impossible because these are diametrically opposed positions.
Because a shitty group of people has us by the nutsack.
Even to the extent that there is, it seems, maybe a chance that a creative solution can be provided. You have the effort of the third party, Israel, to sabotage the negotiations. And actually, to that end, Benjamin Netanyahu has arrived in the United States earlier tonight for a working meeting tomorrow morning with the president, private closed-door working session. He is going to lobby the United States not to make a deal. And not only not to make a deal, but also to impress upon the United States that Israel will not accept any deal that does not also include restrictions on Iran's ballistic missiles and support for its proxies, which is yet another red line for Iran. They don't even want to talk about it. So that's the state of the play. If these negotiations don't work, we are going to war. And preparations are being made for this. There are major cargo aircraft flying into Turkmenistan, just north of Iran.
I did, Joseph.
Trump is considering deploying a second carrier strike group to bolster our offensive, defensive capabilities. They're deploying additional Patriot missile batteries, THAAD systems. It's all going there. B-52 bombers, B-2 bombers. It's all being assembled, ready for a full-on regime change war with Iran in the event that the talks are not successful. So there's a lot riding on this. And we'll talk all about it. There is one additional change which people need to be mindful of, and this is a positive development. We have the intercession of at least 6, up to 7 Middle Eastern countries that are lobbying the United States to make a deal, and they're pushing very strongly. They are Turkey, Egypt, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, the United Arab Emirates, and Oman. They're all present at these negotiations. They are lobbying very strongly for the U.S. to make a deal. And it seems that anticipating the collapse of Iran, they are now all working together and forming a new axis, which may be able to counter the influence of Washington and Israel in the future. So that actually is a positive development. It's a positive change to the negotiations, and it gestures towards something positive in the future, even in the worst case scenario. So we'll talk about that too. We're also going to talk tonight a little bit about Howard Lutnick.
That guy's a scumbag.
In a Senate committee.
And I thought he was a scumbag since last year.
To Jeffrey Epstein. Big problem. Howard Lutnick is the Commerce Secretary in the Trump government.
Like this,
close
with
friend
Epstein.
Of President Trump. He also was a friend of Jeffrey Epstein. And this was known, that Howard Lutnick and Epstein had met and they had spoken to each other. However, Howard Lutnick insisted that he had not remained in contact with Epstein after Epstein was charged and convicted of soliciting minors to traffic for sex.
What a scumbag.
And so he swore up and down that he never talked to him after that. They haven't spoken since 2005. That relationship was over. Well, one of the revelations in the DOJ's document dump of the Epstein files is that that is a lie. And it seems that Howard Lutnick continued a correspondence with Epstein, and actually his entire family visited Epstein's island long after Epstein had been charged, convicted, and served prison time for those crimes. So he lied, and we know that, and that is on the record. And now the Trump government is standing behind Lutnick. There's calls for him to resign, obviously. I think that's
He's a nobody. Let him go.
And the Trump government is refusing. They say this is a distraction. We are ready
He's
to
a
move
loser.
on. The DOJ says we're done with this. They do it to themselves. It is self-inflicted, this entire thing.
And they're going to fuck
And
Republicans
I said
for the
last
next
night,
election.
I think this is a mortal wound for the Trump government, because this is like you're shot in the wilderness or you get attacked by a bear or something, and maybe you don't die.
You got nowhere to go.
But this Trump government, I mean, they are literally going to trudge along for the next 3 years, it seems, bleeding profusely, limping along.
Like Starmer
from this
and Labor
wound.
in
I
England.
don't think this is survivable.
Same.
They're going to face questions about this, scrutiny, pressure. There will be demands for more documents, for more declassification, ultimately for names and investigations. And you know the DOJ is not going to serve that up right away, if ever. And so they're going to be dogged by this for the next 3 years. It's going to be brutal. And you wonder, do the people in the government understand that? Are they delusional? Is the alternative worse, which is kind of a disturbing possibility? I'm not sure what they're thinking, but it's not good for them. So we'll talk all about that. It's going to be a good show. I apologize I'm so late, but it's a slower news day. It's like just impossible When there's nothing going on in the news, I just feel no sense of urgency. I promise I'm going to get the show earlier. I started out so good this year.
You did.
I was at like 9 o'clock, 9:30, and then it just got away. It just got away from me. So hard to do the show on time, to do anything on time. On time. What does it even really mean? But
It means to be white.
I promise the show will start earlier tomorrow.
That's what white people
the
do.
show
They
will
show
start
up
earlier,
on
later in
time.
the week, okay?
Mexicans don't.
So hard to keep it together here, okay? But it's a little bit of a later show. Before we get into it, I want to remind you to smash the follow button on Rumble, smash the like button, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the show.
Hours? What the fuck?
Check out our merch at Fuentes.store. We have a lot of great products. We're getting ready for our spring and summer lineup, but we still have our USA quarter zip.
Huh.
Epstein was a fucking monster. It's not an Epstein
fucking
quarter
a monster.
zip. It's a USA quarter zip.
Very much.
We have the hats,
monster.
America First, GIA. We got different colors. We got camo, black. Honestly, we should do a red America First hat. That would kind of look good. We have this stupid MAGA hat, that everyone hates.
Yeah, and you keep it on your
Why not just
desk.
do one in red? That might be fun.
That's weird.
But we got all the
Within
hats.
arm's
Check
reach.
them out. Shirts, sweatshirts, it's all there. Subscribe to the website, americafirst.plus, if you want to support the show. People always say, what can I do to support the movement? Honestly, give me more money. People say, well, what can I do? And it's like, I don't know. You have like a wife and kids. You're kind of dead weight, you know? What can I do? I don't know. It seems like if you get canceled, you're going to lose your job and then your wife will just have a problem with you. What can you do? $15 a month. If you can cough up $15 a month, you can support the real nigga holding down the fort at the center of it all, at the center of the storm, the hurricane. I'm joking a little bit, but it's also very true. $15 a month, americafirst.plus. Become a Plus subscriber. You get access to the whole library, the whole archive of content. Check it out. $100 a month, you get to be in a group chat with me. I dropped like a 30-minute voice message in there today. It's like I'm doing a mini show in there every other day. I do this show, and then just about every day, every other day, I drop a lot of additional content in the group chat, and sometimes people ask me a question, I'll reply with the long voice message. So it's a pretty good value. Check it out, americafirst.plus. We got hundreds of people in there, and they all love it. Okay, with that out of the way, we're going to get into the show. I have a new suit tonight. What do you guys think?
Looking sharp, bro. I'm digging it.
I finally
Shit goes
went
hard
shopping.
as fuck.
You know, for some people, this is easy, but for me, it's hard.
Me too.
I struggle. I hate shopping. I don't like it. And so I've just been procrastinating literally for years. But I finally went out. I bought a few new suits. I think this one looks good. I'm loving it. I like the color. I like the fit.
Yeah.
You know, it's off the rack because that's about my limit. You know, the guy said, do you want to get it tailored? I'm like, no, I don't want to come back here, you know. No offense. The guy was very nice, but he's like, do you want to get it tailored? I'm like, what does that involve? He's like, well, we send it away. You pick it up. I'm like, I want to walk out of here with it. I want to put it on.
And then they have your measurements. You do it one time.
Finish the process. Make the purchase. Put it on. Let's be done with this. So I'm pleased with it. Huge upgrade. Yeah, and I'm loving it with the mustard tie.
Me too. Looks sharp.
Somebody in the live chat says yellow piss tie. Another guy said, do the news, faggot. Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, here's your money, whore. Here's your super chats, whore. Just do the show with your yellow piss tie, faggot. Okay. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Hey, thanks a lot. No, I'm not going to let it get me down. You can't spike my cortisol. You cannot spike my cortisol.
Oh, my cortisol is spent from that rant.
Nice try, but I'm calm. It's very early on in the show. You're not going to mess with me. Too early for that. Very late in the evening, early in the show.
Early in the morning.
And they're laughing. They love the jokes. Goyim in abundance. They love the jokes. They love the funnies. They eat this shit up. No, we're having fun. We're dialed in. It's 11 o'clock. I'm dialed in. One other thing before we get into the news, we are going to get into the news. Okay, relax. Before we do, I want to go back in on the halftime show.
Oh my God, bro.
I want to come back in for seconds. I'm coming back in for more.
Bro, you fat ass. You already had a buffet.
I'm coming back for more. I want seconds. And so I have this everyone hates this
fat ass, man.
And admittedly, it's very contrarian. Okay.
Gonna run a suck muscle some more about fucking the Super Bowl.
You have to stop being so contrarian. Why? Are you guys tired of hearing a different way of thinking? Yeah, I know I'm Mexican. That's why I like the song. Here's the thing. So I wanted to go back in on this for one reason. So, I gave my take about the halftime show, and yeah, it's a little contrarian. But it's amazing. I've seen the Turning Point halftime show is now going viral because one of the performers, I don't know the guy's name. It's like Brantley something, or maybe this was a different one. I don't know. They're all the same to me. But one of these performers gets up at the Turning Point All-American halftime show, and he's got his acoustic guitar. You already know what I'm talking about. He's got like a hair transplant, leather jacket, big, fat, disgusting, puffy hands. You know these fat guys with their like disgusting, puffy hands?
They're fat.
They look like Adam Sandler and Click. Remember when he got fat? They look like Wally. He's got these disgusting, puffy hands.
Sausage fingers.
Protruding from his leather jacket. Horrible hair transplant, big, fat, chubby, disgusting face. He's got his acoustic guitar, and these are the lyrics. He's strumming his acoustic guitar singing, "It ain't easy being country in this country."
Yesterday for 2
He goes,
hours.
"I just want to catch my fish,
dude,
cut my grass,
bro,
drink my beer. I want to wear my boots,
this
drive my
tiresome.
truck, hug my dog."
Getting very tiresome.
This is the... Now, everybody hated what I had to say about this. Hey, look, I liked the halftime show. I liked Bad Bunny. I thought it was fun. I thought it was catchy. I thought it was lighthearted.
What does that have to do with me?
Everyone hated me for saying that. Thermonuclear meltdown over that take. People said I sold out for liking a show. Meanwhile, at the Turning Point halftime show, that's your alternative.
I didn't watch either,
that's
Nick.
The alternative.
Because I don't like either.
I just want to kiss my fish. Everyone said it sounded like you said kiss my fish. I just want to catch my fish, hug my dog, drink my beer. And I'm watching this on Sunday. See, this is why I was so mad. This is why I was so mad. We're going to keep coming back here like 100 fucking times. This is never over. This is why I was so mad. Because I just hate, I don't like that whole presentation. I mean, it really made me sick to my stomach. And I saw some of these conservative accounts comparing the two, and they said, here was the Bad Bunny halftime show, and it's twerking asses, and it's brown and black people, and it's degeneracy. And then they showed the clip from Turning Point, and they said, look at this wholesome chungus who just wants to drink his beer. And I'm like, I hate that guy. You want to know why? Because I hate weakness. I absolutely hate weakness. And I hate weakness coming from white people. Because here is what I saw in the two halftime shows. From the brown and black people, they are planting a flag. They're young. They're energetic. They're proud. They're confident. And they want everybody to know. The black people, the brown people, whether you like it or not, they're here. The barbarians are in the gates. They are here. They are outnumbering us in our country, in the world. They are proud. They are confident. They are young.
Yeah, because
they are
our government's
dancing. They're
literally
playing their music. They are
give them our
vivacious.
shit.
They're having kids. And they are planting a flag. And their message, which we saw on Sunday, was, we are here. This is our country. Deal with it. And that was the message, unequivocally. That was the low-angle shot. It was a low-angle shot looking up at Bad Bunny and all the Latinos with their flags saying, love is stronger than hate. This is our country. This is our culture. We're here and we're not going anywhere. And that's a muscular, strong message, and it conveys vitality. And there's no question that they have a future. Then I watched the Turning Point halftime show, your all-American halftime show, your safe space for white cucks, your safe space for white losers. And all the white people retreated to some stage in Atlanta, apparently, and they had a cry. They had a good cry about how we're all dying. And some pathetic white doofus got up on the stage and said, I just want... He's literally crying. You gonna cry, you fucking pussy? He's literally sounds like he's about to cry. Oh, a poor white man all by himself on the stage with just his little guitar, with his world's smallest violin. And he's up there sounding like he's gonna cry. I just want to hug my dog. I just want to drink my beer. I just want to watch the game. That's Dude, we're the race that created fucking Adolf Hitler, nigga.
We're the race that created everything. Race that
created Napoleon, Caesar, Hitler, Alexander,
iPhones,
Stalin.
Went to the moon.
This is what we've become? This is who we are?
Yep.
The Latinos, yeah, everything you say about them is true, but they're as ignorant
as they are. Our culture has a jackboot on our fucking windpipe.
Hey, where are you? Come get us.
And they're giving all our shit to them.
And then you get some white loser who gets up and says, I just want to watch the game. I just want to drink my beer. Leave me alone. What, because I don't want my daughter to be trans? You're going to cancel me? It's like, dude, grow a fucking pair of balls. That makes me... It's like I said, it makes me want to switch teams. It makes me want to switch sides. It makes me depressed. If that is the state of the white right, if that is the state of white America, all American halftime show,
well, they did fucking kill our dude, Charlie Kirk. They fucking murdered him.
You deserve to go extinct.
They're murdering us. If any of us stands up and fucking is proud, pow, bullet through the dome.
To be able to offer anymore is leave me alone. Leave me alone.
No shit.
Let us retreat.
I just got finished saying that.
It's like that movie based on an historical event. It's like that Christopher Nolan movie.
Isn't that funny how I just...
what am I thinking of? The World
just
War
got through
II
with this
movie.
fucking topic.
We literally just want
2
a
hours
safe
of ranting.
passage as we retreat. Let us retreat across the English Channel. Let us go home. Let us watch our game and drink our beer.
We're tired of being the fucking villain.
And in a word, what it is a surrender. You know, because here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Here's what I'm going to tell you, white people.
It's not going to be anything informative or enlightening.
Founding stock Americans. No, you can't just watch your game. You can't just catch your fish. You can't just put on your boots and hug your fucking dog. You can't. You want to know why? Because in order to be able to do all of those things, you need white men in charge.
Yeah.
You need white men with guns protecting the border. You need white men with guns
in
supporting
authority.
the illegals. You need white men with balls running the show. That's what keeps the enemies at bay. You don't have that, they're planting a flag in your neighborhood. You don't have the pride to stick up for your country. You don't have the pride to stick up for your race. You don't have the pride to stick up for your culture. You're not willing to sacrifice. You're not willing to go all in. Then they're going to plant a flag in your neighborhood, and they're going to eat your dog, okay? And they're going to kill all your fish. And they're not going to let you watch the game or drink your beer. You want to drive your truck, they're going to plow into you because they don't even speak English and they can't read the signs. And that is what will happen. So we have to do politics.
Mm-hmm.
We are in a
What do you think I'm doing?
civilizational war. We are in a civilizational war
Trying
in
to
the
rally the
world
troops.
against an ascendant Latin America, Muslim world.
They're not ascendant. They're a bunch of
Asians,
morons.
run by Jews. We're in a civilizational war in the world and in our country. And if you don't engage in politics and defend what is yours, if you don't take up space, if you don't acquire and wield power in defense of your own interests and your own people, other people will. They will take it from you. They will take up that space. It's a zero-sum game. They will take up that space. They will take and wield power, and they will wield it on behalf of themselves
Well
and
said,
their
Joseph.
interests.
We'll get there
And
one
they
day
will take
eventually.
our land, and they will take your fish and your game and your beer and your truck and your dog and your kids and your country. And that is what has been happening. And this is my message. It's not an anti-white message. People always get it twisted. I'm giving white people a kick in the ass. And I'm saying stop feeling sorry for yourselves. Stop retreating. Stop crying. Stop begging our enemies to leave us alone. They're never going to leave us alone. They hate us. They want us dead. And there's many race traitors among their ranks too. There's many white liberals that want us dead. It's world Jewry that wants us dead. It's these invaders that want us dead. And you're begging them, pleading for mercy. Just leave us alone. We promise we'll be defenseless. We'll be small. We'll be harmless. That's what they're saying. That's what that message is. When they say, hey, I just want to catch my fish, what they're saying is, I surrender, I'm unarmed. That's what that is. And what does this mean? It means I'm not a threat. Hands up, don't shoot. I'm a civilian. I'm just catching my fish and hugging my dog and minding my own business. I'm not threatening.
Yeah.
I'm harmless. I'm neutralized. Don't hurt me. Please, just let me be.
Well, no shit we get that way. When everybody, even our own women, are doing this to us, they've turned our own women on us. Our own women are some of the worst.
You're in control. You're in power. You run the show. Just give me mercy and allow me to live. And that's what that is. If that's you, fuck you. Fucking die. You might as well dig your own grave, get in it, and fill the dirt in on top of you already. We need to be threatening. We need to have power. We need to be in a position to defend our interests. We need to be in a position to repel these people. I don't just want to catch my fish. I hope that my great-grandchildren can just catch their fish and drive their truck and hug their dog. We don't have that luxury.
We don't.
Our parents and our grandparents and our great-grandparents, they were catching fish and hugging their dog and doing these things. Some of them, many of them went to war. But others, arguably the boomers, they had this vacation from history when they were able to do all those things and not concern themselves with politics or war.
Where they could give out goodies.
The civilizational conflict that we're in. We don't have that luxury. So I don't just want to, marry my high school sweetheart and get a dog and just hang out and drive my truck and watch my game and drink my beer. I want power. I want to go to war. I want influence. I want money. I want connections. I want to feel powerful. I want to be powerful. I don't want to feel non-threatening and beg my enemy for mercy and show him that I'm not a threat. I want to be the threat. We want to be the one that knocks, so to speak.
He's right.
That's the message. So I'm looking at this halftime show, and whatever you want to say about the Bad Bunny thing, it's a powerful message. What is dancing? It's a mating ritual. It's very sexual. They're young. They're doing their sexual dance. And this is a form of warfare. It's a form of warfare. Our music, our culture, our dancing, our women, our babies, our flags, we're here. You can't get rid of us. You can't take us out of the country. That's the message. And over a turning point, they are delusional.
Women do fucking
They're
hate
doing
us.
this ham-fisted appeal about dust off your Bibles, and they get this doofus coming up saying, literally on the verge of tears, crying, just leave me alone.
That's some cuck shit.
And what are they, in the other lyrics in the song, he goes, just because you hate me doesn't mean I hate you. You're looking at these psychos like Alex Preddy and Renee Good. They're throwing themselves in front of the tanks to die for Somalian scammers. And you're telling them, I don't hate you. I like you. Like, what? It's just like utter submission to the enemy. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And they're laughing at us. They're laughing at us. And what I have seen for the past 24 hours is that has gone viral on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter, and they are laughing at it, okay? Everyone is laughing at it. Everyone is watching that performance, and they are laughing because it is ridiculous. It is a joke.
It's guys fucking
and I want
showing their
to do it.
genitals.
I've always
I'm not
said
a
this.
threat.
The Oliver
Like a
Anthony
dog.
thing,
Like
the
a
Matt
dog
Walsh
submitting.
thing, this whole just leave me alone so we can roll over and die in peace. You know, they're going to kill us, okay? So that's my postscript. That's my modification of my take last night, because I really saw it and I was just thinking about it and I was just getting so angry. I'm like, this is pathetic. I hate it. And it's just such a terrible message for young white men. You know, he's strumming, and who the fuck wants to watch that? It's a Super Bowl. Fireworks, it's the big game. Everybody's eating wings. Everybody's hanging out. Cut to turning point. And slow it down for a minute. I just want to hang out with my dog. And what? Because I don't believe in transgenders. Just leave me alone. It's like, who invited this guy? This sucks. This show is not even good. It's not good music. It's slow. Let's get the energy up. Let's cry about how you can't be against transgenders without the left canceling you. What? It's disgusting. They should have had something else. Like I said,
For nothing.
you got a lot of white musical acts to pick from. Pick something else. There's other, there's other good stuff. And honestly, people say, oh, well, you know, you like Kanye. Yeah, because Ye got up and he was a menace. He said, I'm the bully. Heil Hitler. He said, I'm the bully.
Shit, Kid
I'm
Rock
the
used to be
villain.
like that too.
Spray painting swastikas on his building and everyone's freaking out.
It's transgressive.
It was aggressive. He's dressing up like Jason Voorhees, like I'm a serial killer. I'm the villain. I'm a bully. That's taking the power. No, I'm not non-threatening. I'm going to be the menace now. How about now we're going to make it hurt a little bit? So until white people can express that language, we're going to continue to lose. But that is what it needs to be. Yeah. It needs to be forward-looking. It needs to be young. It needs to be vibrant. That's why I was talking about the
Crusades. We need something to inspire us.
It needs to be empowering. It can't just be this, whatever that was on Sunday. So uninspired. And people then want to, like I said, the left is attractive. The talent is going to go towards the left. The artists, the thinkers, the intellects, they're going to go to the left because that is what talented people are attracted to. Energy, a future, ideas, a message, not whatever that was, this big performative outrage. We're going to pretend that we like it. You know, nobody wants to live like that. Not anybody with any brains, not anybody with any kind of guts. So that's what I have to say about it. I saw
right,
that
though.
and I was just
he's
filled
absolutely right. We got to do something.
Disgust.
Can't just fucking give up.
Just want to catch my... He even said, watch my game. I just want to watch the game, man. Let me watch my little game. Watch games. Games?
Children?
You're playing games? You're watching games? We're not playing games. We can't be playing games. Games. I want to watch my game and drink my beer. Listen, hillbilly. Hey, you, hillbilly, put the fucking beer down, turn the TV off, and get involved. Charlie Kirk got shot in the fucking head. Trump got shot in the fucking head. And you're crying about, I just want to watch my games on TV and drink my beer with my dog, you fucking faggot. And you know, look at me. I'm not some big macho guy or something, but I understand what is necessary. This is the attitude that is necessary. People are getting executed. People are getting their heads blown off. The left, the John Brown Gun Club, and the DSA and the communists, they are literally deploying in every major city saying, we're going to be elected mayor, we're going to take white people's money, and we're going to use it to make the bus free for black people. Okay? They're going to take your shit. They're going to get elected, they're going to send the cops, and they're going to take your shit. They're passing a wealth tax in California. Zohran Mamdani said, we're going to tax the white neighborhoods more so we could start a government grocery store. In Minnesota, they're deploying the shock troops, the progressive shock troops with the guns, setting up checkpoints to hunt for ICE. And we have white Gen Xers and boomers saying, hey, man, we just want to watch our game and go and fish. It's a simple way of life. We have a simple way of life. We ain't want to hurt nobody. Well, they want to hurt you. They are coming. They want to hurt you. They are ruthless. They do not care. They are younger than you. They have more energy than you. They want it more than you do. They're planting a flag. We won't even plant. We're doing a show, we don't even know what it's about. It's some vague thing about patriotism. Like, it's not even racial for them. So that's the thing, you know, and it's so funny. All these people want to say, well, you know, Bad Bunny, when he said God bless America, what he meant was the Americas, all the Hispanics. Well, what can white people say? White people say heritage American. Think about how raped that is. Think about how cucked that is. Hispanics come here and they say, you know, we are America. All the Americas are America. You know, Paraguay and Argentina, Colombia. That's God bless America. And what are they saying? They're saying browns are American. What do white people say? Well, America's for heritage Americans. Okay, what's a heritage American? People that have been here for generations. What, like slaves? No, like, they won't even say white. They won't even say white. They won't even say Northern European English.
I let
they
that
won't
shit
even
go a
say
while
that.
ago.
Even
Fuck
these
them.
faggots that are mad about think of this. Yeah, think of this. Even these faggots that are mad about the halftime show, they're saying, well, when he said God bless America, what he meant was all of the Americas are. And you go to that guy, you go to that nerd bitch. You say, oh, really? What's America to you? Heritage legacy Americans. What's that? People that have been here for generations. What's that? People with citizenship. They won't even say white. They won't even use the word white. They won't even include race because they don't want to lose their job because they're worried Stephen Miller's going to get them fired. Because they're worried if they're following the wrong Twitter account, they're going to get thrown out on the White House lawn out of the motorcade and fired. And I heard about that story. That's why. They won't even say white. So how prepared are you to fight this battle? You want to complain about that? Anyway, I know I'm beating a dead horse at this point, but that's my problem with it. You people are just not ready. Somebody asked me last night, are you even a white nationalist? And I said, I don't feel like one, not because I'm not pro-white, but because it's such a defeatist, low-energy group now. It's defeatist. It's sad. And we just need something that's a little stronger, something that's a little more confident. And I don't mean it needs to be like white supremacist, like more hateful or angry.
But not
I mean, it needs to be
apologetic.
a little more confident, a little more self-assured.
Stop apologizing.
It needs to be ambitious. You know, like, hey, we own the future. There is a future for white people. We are the future. We're the young people. We have ideas. We are the best. We are the brightest. We're planting a flag. They should be afraid of us. We're the next generation. You don't get a whole lot of energy like that from the white nationalists. You get a bunch of old neo-Confederates. You get a bunch of old, old-timers, segregationists. They were on the campaign in the 70s. Anyway, but that's that. I want to move on. We are going to get into the news here, but I just want to throw that out there because it's such an important point. And maybe I didn't
It
make
is
it
an
very
important
clear
point.
last night, but that's really my beef. That's my beef. And I said it last night. I'm like, tale of two halftime shows. One of them sucks. The other one's great. And that's because one of them is vivacious and the other is the opposite of that. Morbid. One is vivacious, one is morbid. One is forward thinking, one is, I don't even know if it's backward. It's just not even looking at all. It's just like eyes closed. All right, we're going to move on. We are going to get into the news. Our featured story tonight, we're talking all about the negotiations in Iran. And we're picking up where we left off last week. I believe I covered this on Thursday. As you know, how did we get here? We are staring down the barrel of another war with Iran. Trump aborted another airstrike on Iran just last month. He aborted the strike because we did not have a sufficient force package in the region. Well, that has been remedied. We have an aircraft carrier strike group. We have air defense systems in place. We got 50,000 troops, maybe more. We are ready for war. We are on a war footing with Iran. And Trump has issued the ultimatum last week. And the ultimatum is either Iran is going to make a deal once and for all on nuclear, or we are going to topple their regime. And the word that Trump is using is decisive. Decisive meaning we're going to finish the regime. Not we're going to bomb their nuclear program again. Not that we're going to degrade their military capability. The word that Trump has been using when soliciting a menu of options from the Pentagon is he wants a decisive blow. That means a killing blow against the regime that either kills the Ayatollah or topples the government, and then some new regime comes to power. So this is the ultimatum as of last week. Either Iran is going to make a deal on nuclear, which has some specific expectations, or there's going to be this decisive killing blow, a regime change strike, and then we're effectively in a war with Iran, just like we were last year. And the outcome of that is completely unpredictable. Now, the Iranians, in a bid to either prevent that war or to postpone that war, agreed to a negotiation. And it was a bit contentious. The venue for the negotiation, the preconditions, all of that was sort of in flux for the past week. Ultimately, they agreed that they would hold these negotiations on Friday in Oman, and they did. And so not Howard Lutnick, Steve Witkoff, the special envoy and the foreign minister of Iran, held indirect negotiations in Oman. It was mediated by a number of other third countries from around the Middle East. Both sides said that the talks were positive. The president of Iran, Pezeshkian, said it was a constructive meeting. The White House said that Iran wants to make a deal and they're willing to do things that they weren't a year ago. With that being said, we don't know any of the details. And it would seem that the negotiation on Friday was not different than the first two negotiations last year, in that the negotiation on Friday was a framework negotiation. It was a negotiation about negotiations, talking about what they will talk about. What are the boundaries of the negotiation? What is on the table? How are these talks going to proceed? In other words, it wasn't a real negotiation. They didn't actually get to the substance of it. They did not talk about the nuclear program. They did not talk about the other files. They talked about a framework for how they would talk about the issue. And insofar as that was the subject matter, both sides said, well, it's a step in the right direction. As it stands right now, we don't really know where this is headed. Is there going to be another negotiation? We don't know. Where it's going to be, we don't know. What are the terms of the United States? There is a draft, but we're not sure 100%, and we don't know what Iran is willing to give. Now, this is a story from the Times of Israel. We'll read through this, and then we'll talk a little bit about how we got here and where we're going and what we can expect here. So this is a story. It says, quote, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi on Sunday ruled out Tehran ever giving up uranium enrichment in its negotiations with Washington insisting it will not be intimidated by the threat of war with the United States. Araghchi told a forum in Tehran that Tehran had little trust in Washington and even doubted that the U.S. side was taking renewed negotiations seriously. The U.S. and Iran reopened negotiations on Friday in Oman after the previous talks between the two countries were suspended due to Israel's 12-day war with Iran in June 2025, which ended with the U.S. strike on several Iranian nuclear sites. Iran is seeking to have U.S. economic sanctions on the country lifted in exchange for what Araghchi said at the forum could be a series of confidence-building measures concerning the nuclear program. Araghchi's comments came after U.S. lead negotiators Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner visited the USS Abraham Lincoln on Saturday, signaling the persistent threat of U.S. military action against Iran. The threat of war continues to hover over the negotiations, even as Trump called the talks very good, and Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian posted on social media that they constitute a step forward. Okay, so both sides say it's going well, but not really. Following Friday's first round in Oman, Trump signed an executive order calling for the imposition of tariffs on countries still doing business with Iran, despite U.S. sanctions. The U.S. also announced new sanctions against numerous shipping entities and vessels aimed at curbing Iran's oil exports. It remained unclear on Sunday when and where or if there will be a second round of talks. Trump, after the talks on Friday, offered few details, but said Iran looks like they want to make a deal very badly, as they should. So let's talk about this. Again, reiterating just very briefly, the U.S. concern with Iran is its nuclear program, specifically Iran's ability to enrich uranium. So there's a few issues at stake in these broader negotiations. 3 issues. And the issues are that Iran is sponsoring Shiite proxies across the region, which are attacking Israel and in some cases attacking American forces. So you've got Hezbollah, first and foremost in Lebanon. Previously, you had Hamas. You have the Houthi movement in Yemen, Ansar Allah. You've got the Popular Mobilization Force, which is integrated into Iraq's security service in Iraq. And formerly, you had the Iranian Revolutionary Guard in Syria. So one of the issues is Iran's support for the regional proxies. The other is Iran's ballistic missile arsenal. Iran is making hundreds of ballistic missiles every month. They estimate 300 per month. And these missiles are basically uninterceptable, at least at volume. If Iran launches 500 missiles at Israel in one go, they're not all going to be shot down. They're precise, they're fast, some of them are hypersonics, and they have long enough range that they can hit Israel, they can hit U.S. bases, and so they pose an implicit threat to Israel, but also to U.S. military installations across the whole region. Lastly is Iran's nuclear program. Now, Iran, on paper, has a nuclear energy program. However, their ability to enrich uranium and refine plutonium gives them the capability to create enough nuclear material for a nuclear weapon. So ostensibly, they have the ability to make a bomb. They haven't yet. They have the ability to make a bomb. They haven't begun to make one. But they have begun to make the material that could fuel a bomb. And with the missile program, and with proxies, and with enough fissible material, they could theoretically put a nuclear warhead on a missile and launch it at Israel or at an American base. That is really the fear. And this has been the subject of this high-pressure campaign by Israel and the United States for kind of different reasons, subtle but different reasons. Israel wants Iran to have none of these capabilities. Israel does not want Iran to fund or sponsor any proxies. Israel does not want Iran to have any missiles that have a long enough range that they can strike Israel. And Israel does not want Iran to have any nuclear complex. No energy program, no reactor, no centrifuges, no nothing. The United States is a little different. We don't want them to sponsor proxies. We don't want them to have missiles. However, our biggest priority specifically is their nuclear program and their enrichment of uranium. We would allow them to have some enriched uranium. We would allow them to have a nuclear reactor, but we will not let them have the centrifuges that make the enriched uranium. We say that that material has to be imported from a third country, and they can own the facility, maybe they can operate it, but it can't be on their soil, and they can't have free reign to enrich, and they can't have highly enriched uranium, which could be used for a bomb. Now, why do I say this? Last year, we did this whole thing. The United States gave Iran a deadline. We said they have 60 days, and we are going to negotiate with them. And the goal of the negotiation is that they give up their highly enriched uranium and their centrifuges. Enrichment is the key. And so last year we said you have 60 days to give up enrichment and your enriched material. And we met with Iran. We met with Iran twice. And during those negotiations, they were indirect. And we talked with them. What are we going to do here? What is on the table? What is off the table? What can we talk about? What can't we talk about? And we agreed with the Iranians that we would only focus on the nuclear file. In other words, in those first two meetings, we said we're not going to talk about proxies. We're not going to talk about missiles. We're only going to talk about nuclear. Those are the first two meetings. At the third and fourth meetings, we talked about some creative solutions. How could they have peaceful nuclear energy without enrichment? And so some of the ideas were maybe we would let them have their centrifuges on some of their islands in the Persian Gulf. And that way we could say that it's not on their mainland, and they could say it's still on their territory. Another idea was floated that they could have their centrifuges in Saudi Arabia, and they could operate the facility, but it would be sort of like a black box, and Saudi Arabia would have jurisdiction over the territory, and they could import it from that facility. These were some of the creative ideas, but suffice to say, we were fixated on enrichment. Not missiles, not proxies, not even Bushehr, which is their nuclear reactor. We said we are laser focused on enrichment. We don't want you to have the stockpile. We don't want you to have the centrifuges. We're going to need to come up with some third way. We're going to have to thread the needle where you get the material for your energy, but you can't in any way have enough control over it that you could ever build a bomb. Well, Iran didn't like that. And this was the sticking point last year, because Iran says our red line is we have to have enrichment. Now, they will accept oversight, reassurances. They will accept basically a form of surveillance. They will accept IAEA inspections, 24/7 cameras. They will disclose the location of their centrifuges, limits on their enrichment activity. But Iran says enrichment is our national pride, it's our national right, and ultimately that is their hedge. That is the last card that they have to play. They fear regime change primarily from Israel. And ultimately, that's what this is about. They're effectively, they say this kind of stuff like we take pride in our ability to enrich. It means we're a developed nation. It means we're a scientific nation. They say it's our right. We're a sovereign nation. No country can tell us not to enrich. It's really not about that. What it's really about is we reserve the right to break out and get a nuclear bomb if we fear that regime change is imminent or inevitable. That's what it's about. And why does Iran fear this? They don't trust us.
I wouldn't trust us either.
Inspections. They'll take cameras. They'll take restrictions, but they'll never give it up because they don't trust us. They don't trust that we're not going to screw them.
They're not stupid.
That's why the architecture of the previous Iranian nuclear deal was a 10-year deal. Reassurances, trust, building rapport. We're going to lift sanctions. They can become a rich country. If they're rich, they can fund a military. They can integrate into the region. They can normalize relations with Saudi Arabia, Egypt, with the other Arab countries.
They don't want anybody competing with them.
And they can pursue collective security. If they can build their alliances and have some interdependence in the region, that's a way of protecting themselves. If they can demonstrate that they are not a pariah state, that they're not a revisionist power, then the United States will be less enthusiastic about backing regime change. That's why that was a 10-year deal. And over 10 years, they accept these restrictions and inspections and surveillance in exchange for sanctions relief. Over that 10-year period, they become normal, they integrate, and by the end of it, they have some confidence that the United States is not going to knock them off, is not going to overthrow them. So where we are in 2025 last year is Iran is saying, look, we're never giving up enrichment. You tore up our original deal. We don't trust you. Israel wants to topple us. You want to topple us. If we give up enrichment, then we are completely vulnerable. So that's their red line. Well, it is the same in the opposite direction. The U.S. says, well, we will never accept enrichment because if you think you're going to be toppled, you're going to get a nuclear bomb. And then that is inherently very threatening to us because it's an unstable regime. It might collapse. They are a revisionist power. And we don't want one other nuclear arsenal in the hands of an Islamist country. So it's unacceptable for us also. So this is where negotiations stalled last year. The 60 days expired because that was the impasse. They want enrichment, and we will not let them have it. That is when Israel bombed Iran. And Israel and Iran traded blows for 2 weeks, and then the U.S. intervened, and we bombed their nuclear complex. We bombed Fordo, Iraq, Esfahan, and those were some of the most critical facilities, the ones that were the most fortified, underground, inside mountains. Only we could do it. And we said, okay, we set back their nuclear program. Now they cannot enrich. We bombed their centrifuges. Now they can't enrich. We have set back the development of a latent nuclear arsenal, and that bought us some time. Well, 6 months has now elapsed, and in December of 2025, Netanyahu comes to Mar-a-Lago, and Netanyahu says it's not enough. We need to bomb their missiles. Israel comes to Mar-a-Lago and says, ever since we bombed them together, Israel says they have been building hundreds of missiles a month, and they're getting ready to bomb us. They're getting ready to preemptively strike us.
Fuck Israel.
They've reconstituted their strength.
Scumbags.
We need to act again, preemptively,
Nobody
swiftly,
acted.
so that
Israel
they don't have time
acted.
to attack us.
Iran
Trump
didn't
does
pick a
not
fight.
give them the green light. Trump says something very specific. Outside of
These
Mar-a-Lago,
fucking
he
people.
says to the
They're
press
evil,
pool,
man.
he says, if Iran reconstitutes its nuclear program, we will definitely bomb them. He says, if Iran reconstitutes its missiles, well, we'll look very strongly at that. Of course, a week later, there's protests in Iran. Trump threatens to intervene. They say that he's about to. He aborts it at the last minute, doesn't have enough guns. Over the last month, there's been a huge military buildup, an aircraft carrier strike group. Like I said, Patriot missile batteries, THAAD systems, cargo aircraft, refueling aircraft, B-52. It's all going into the Middle East to prepare for war, offensive and defensive capabilities. And it's leverage. And last week, Trump, pointing the gun at Iran, says, all right, enough. And the timing is conspicuous also because we just finished off with Maduro. So Trump is pointing the gun at Iran, and he's saying, look, we just took out Maduro. We said we'd do it, we threatened to do it, and we did it. We have the capability, we have the willingness, we just did it. We'll do it to you. We have an aircraft carrier off the coast. This is the United States of America. We have all the guns pointed at you. This is your last chance, take it or leave it. You're either going to give us a deal, you're going to accede to our demands, or we're going to war. And so last week, Trump says, well, they've agreed to these negotiations. Iran and the United States are going to meet in Turkey. They're going to meet in Istanbul. At the last minute, Iran pulls out. Iran wants to change the venue. They say, we don't want to meet in Turkey. We want to meet in Oman. And the United States on Wednesday says, well, then forget it. The U.S. tells Axios, they say, look, we told Iran we're meeting in Istanbul on Friday. We have our listed demands. It's a take it or leave it. It's this or nothing. Iran said, we want to do it in Oman. The U.S. said, okay, so you chose nothing. Very quickly on Wednesday, and this is a very important thing, 6 or 7 additional countries interceded in these negotiations. Egypt, Turkey, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, the Emirates, Oman, and Pakistan all got in the middle, and they lobbied the United States. and they said, we really want you to make a deal. None of these countries want Iran to be toppled. It's destabilizing. And it might threaten their rule too. Why? Well, just think about it very quickly. If the United States goes to war with Iran, what kind of war will it be? Well, we will support the protesters against an Islamist government. What is Iran? It is an Islamist theocracy. It is ruled by Shiite clerics. It is Muslim law. It is Sharia law. Now, if the United States intervenes, we will do so under the pretext that we are liberating these people from Islamism, from theocracy. We are bringing liberalism, the monarchy, secularism. What is Saudi Arabia? Saudi Arabia is a theocracy. They are walking a tightrope. They are a modernizing theocracy. They are a Sunni Islamist theocracy. Now, why might Saudi Arabia not want a war like that in Iran? Because you get 90 million Iranians rising up for
Refugees
freedom, for
and
liberalism, for secularism. What message does that send across the Persian Gulf? All the Saudis are going to say, hey, we want an election. We want a king, a secular king maybe. We want a president. We want a Congress, a legislature. Saudi Arabia doesn't want that idea to get out. What's more, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, what are they building their future on? Tourism. They have a specific clientele. They want billionaires. They want Asian tourists. They're putting all this money behind these big cities, and, you know, they're hosting the World Cup, and they're hosting these big spectacles, FIFA and NASCAR, or not NASCAR, Formula One, all this kind of stuff. The last thing they want is a huge war happening right across the Persian Gulf. They don't want Iranian missiles flying into Qatar and bombing those beautiful skyscrapers in Doha. They don't want missiles flying at Abu Dhabi or Dubai. You know, so all these countries, they don't want the instability. They don't want this to happen. So they're all lobbying the United States now to make a deal. They lobbied the U.S. to abort the strike in January. They're interceding on behalf of Iran to keep these negotiations on for Friday. So the administration reverses course. And they say, all right, we'll do the negotiation in Oman on Friday. And so they meet. And the foreign minister of Iran and the special envoy from the U.S. meet indirectly. The other countries are present. Now, here's the problem. Okay, just like those first two meetings last year, it's a framework negotiation, meaning they're talking about what they're going to talk about. And they get together and they say, okay, we only want to talk about nuclear. But once again, we have the same impasse. Iran says, we're not giving up enrichment. And the United States says, you need to give up enrichment. And we have a list of demands. We say you have to give up enrichment. You have to give up your enriched material. You have to agree to only enrich at 1.5% for 3 years, or rather, no enrichment for 3 years. Then you can enrich at 1.5% later. Long story short, there's no basis for agreement. There's no common ground. Now, after these negotiations, the United States does another show of force. We crank up the pressure. So over the weekend, Trump passes new sanctions against countries doing business with Iran. Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff go to our aircraft carrier. And what's the message? The message is, okay, you better make a deal, because if you don't, we're going to collapse your economy and then we're going to bomb you from this aircraft carrier. In the meantime, you have more cargo planes landing in Turkmenistan, north of Iran, potentially carrying battalions of U.S. troops. Trump is considering sending another carrier strike group into the Middle East. He got B-52 bombers sighted in Al Udeid, getting ready to bomb Iran. We're getting ready. And now here we are on Tuesday, we're in limbo, and we don't know if there's going to be another meeting, and if there is, what that's even going to look like. We just don't know. Now, here's the other track. In the middle of all this, what is our closest ally doing? Well, all last week, Israel is freaking out. And before Steve Witkoff goes to Oman, he goes to Israel. And he meets with Israel's military and meets with Israel's foreign minister. And Israel is telling the Americans a couple of things. They're telling us you can't trust the Iranians. Don't make a deal at all. 2, they're saying if you make a deal, you must constrain Iran's missiles and their proxies also. It can't just be nuclear. And Israel is starting to threaten us. Israel is saying, our red line is we want their nuclear program restricted. We also want their missiles and their proxies restricted. And if that is not part of the agreement, we're going to intervene. So they are jumping up and down and saying, you can't make a deal. And if you do, you need all this other stuff. Otherwise, we're going to act. Now you fast forward to today. Netanyahu is back in the United States for his 6th visit since Trump has taken office. Netanyahu is in Washington now. He just had dinner with Jared Kushner and all the other usual suspects. Tomorrow afternoon, he'll be in the White House to meet with the president, where he will ask for a blank check. He wants the green light to basically have complete freedom of maneuver inside of Iran. Israel wants to be able to bomb Iran with impunity. Now, why is Netanyahu even arriving? Well, there's really 2 things that are happening. One is that Netanyahu, well, he's really conveying a message to Trump and saying, maybe they're coordinating, and maybe they're lobbying, and maybe they're blackmailing or threatening. Who really knows what Netanyahu's angle is? But he is there because he wants to sabotage the talks, and he wants us to go to war with Iran. Like, he's not interested in diplomacy. He doesn't want a deal. Why is the United States accepting this? Why are they giving him an audience? Why is Trump giving him an audience today? Because he wants Iran to see it. Trump wants Iran to see that they're on the aircraft carrier, that Israel is in the White House. Because if Iran sees that, well, maybe they're going to take it seriously and they're going to cave completely and give up their enrichment. I think that'll backfire. I think that what that really says is that Iran cannot trust the United States. If the United States is in league with Israel, they have no willingness or ability to restrain Israel. As a matter of fact, it seems like the tail is wagging the dog. And just like last year, the U.S. set up those negotiations as a ruse to lull Iran into a false sense of security, lower their guard, and then Israel attacked them with U.S. knowledge of it, foreknowledge. And then we snuck attack Iran on top of that to compound the damage. So I think where this is headed is that Iran does not trust us. I don't think they're going to make a deal. I don't think they're going to cave. And I don't think the U.S. is either. And even if they did, Israel will do everything in their power to scuttle the deal. And they can. They can. Saudi Arabia can't stop them. The Emirates can't stop them. The Turks can't, nobody can stop them. So Israel will try to scuttle the deal. I'm very pessimistic about this. The only hope that we have is that all of these Muslim countries together can compel the United States to finally put their foot down against Israel, as they did in September. When Israel bombed Qatar, they took it too far. Israel bombed Hamas's negotiators in Doha, in Qatar, and the U.S. was furious, and they were all furious. So furious, in fact, that the U.S. actually gave Qatar a security guarantee. We made them a non-treaty ally, effectively. We extended to them a defensive guarantee. And then all the other Muslim countries came together effectively in protest at the Organization of the Islamic Conference. They came together at the Arab League, and they forcefully condemned this. And in that moment, Trump was able to get Netanyahu to apologize to Qatar and get Netanyahu to agree to their 20-point plan, their 21-point plan. The only hope to avoid a war in Iran is if all the Muslim countries, using their lobbying and their money, can get Trump to make Israel back down. If Egypt and Turkey and Pakistan and Saudi Arabia and the Emirates and Qatar, which are all major allies of the United States, major military allies, major commercial allies, if all these countries can get together as one, and they could go to the United States and say, look, if you take out Iran, this is going to be a catastrophe for all of us. If they can maybe set some red lines of their own, maybe then that gives the United States the confidence to put Israel in their place and shut it down. That's why I said before, there's some things that are changing that are maybe a source for optimism, but I just have very little hope in that. That is the part that is different from last year. Last year, Iran had none of these people standing by their side, but that has changed. Ever since Iran was bombed, ever since Qatar was bombed, things have changed in the Middle East. Saudi Arabia and Pakistan are working on a mutual security defense treaty. They're bringing Turkey into it. There is this rapprochement now with Egypt. And so it seems like all these countries are now coming together because they recognize that they are made less safe by this for the aforementioned reasons, but also because they don't want to live in a Middle East that is dominated by Israel. Egypt is beefing up their military in the Sinai because they know that if Israel takes Gaza, well, now Egypt has reason to be concerned. And Turkey is worried also. Israel's trying to seize territory in Syria. Israel has this very anti-Turkey rhetoric. They're threatening regime change in Turkey. So none of these countries want to live under the dominion of Israel, and they are made insecure by these aggressive moves that Israel has been making. So that's where we are in a nutshell. And it's going to be really interesting what happens over the course of the next 2 weeks. The outcome of this meeting tomorrow, what Trump says, if there's a new deadline, what his attitude, what his demeanor will be towards Netanyahu, if there's going to be another round of negotiations, if there's another carrier strike group deployed. But I will tell you, I'm a little bit pessimistic. I think that Trump has no ability to resist Israel. I think that the force package assembled is very expensive. I don't think it's for show. And I think Trump wants to solve this once and for all. Iran is defiant. I think this is really going to be a decisive confrontation. And I think that if it's not going to happen now, it's just going to happen later. Israel will find a way to blow it up. They always do. So that's a situation in the Middle East. We're going to keep an eye on it. And that's that. We're going to move on. We're going to take a look at our super chats. We'll see what you guys have to say about all this. That's the latest. You're not going to hear that anywhere else. That's our analysis of the situation. Kind of freaky. I don't know why more people are not talking about this. We're going to have, if you could see the force package in the Middle East, it's unbelievable. We're getting ready for an all-out war. You don't deploy 2 carrier strike groups. I mean, theoretically, it's been done to deter aggression before, but it looks like we're getting ready to invade in a major way. That's what this is all about. This whole Trump administration was for this. And isn't that kind of sad? I told you last week, Trump didn't get elected and we're going to war with Iran. No, Trump got elected to go to war with Iran. That's what all of this was for. And it's kind of a mind fuck when you think about it. We got involved with Trump in 2016 because we wanted to build a wall and we hated political correctness and blah, blah, blah. And in reality, Trump was selected because he would tear up the Iranian nuclear deal. He would kill Soleimani. He would curb the IRGC. And then he comes back in 24. Why? Because he would bomb Iran. He would bomb the Houthis. He would give Gaza to Israel. He would give them the West Bank. That's why. And the reason Israel hates Qatar and is talking about the Islamization of America, I want you to understand this. There is a lot of Gulf money pouring into U.S. politics, okay? The Saudis, the Qataris, the Emiratis, they all have a relationship with this administration. It's very corrupt. The Qataris are giving out a lot of money. The Emiratis are giving out a lot of money. So are the Saudis. And that is why whenever you see people talking about the Islamization of America, That is because they are being paid by Jews that are very insecure that the Arabs might lobby us not to go to war with Iran. That's really what that's about. So I see some people saying Islam is the number one threat. Islam is taking over our country. They don't want you to talk about the Islamization of America. Those are paranoid, insecure shills being paid by Jewish money because Israel is worried that, these guys like Steve Witkoff and Howard Lutnick, they got business dealings in the Gulf. And so they have a financial interest. And Trump wants to be taken care of when he leaves office, and he'll be taken care of by the Qataris. He'll be taken care of by these Gulf sheikdoms. And that's why the Israelis want to freak out about Islam and Qatar and all this kind of stuff, because they're pushing in the opposite direction. So, anyway, so that's what's up. We're going to move on, though. We're going to take a look at these super chats. We'll see what you guys have to say. Yep, it was all to push us into a war with Iran. Always has been. You fell for it again. I told you so. All right, let's see.
Navarro 108 sent $20. You should tell grow-uppers to stop debating Muslims, man. Bad look for the AF movement. They all get filed in high IQ debates just like God Logic.
Well, I don't know who that is, so that just sounds like Muslim propaganda.
Fake Roypat sent $20. Chat doesn't get him panhandling for new band recs and that you actually have good taste, but also why are people telling you about their birth stories and newborns like cool but wet?
Yeah, you're not like the other
Based Wang sent
chatters.
$20.
You're awesome.
The only thing more powerful than hate is love. The hypocrisy from the left is crazy. 4 months ago they were celebrating Charlie Kirk getting shot. Question. On Bradley Martin you said you believe there is a satanic power that is behind the world's power structure. Do you still have the same perspective?
I do, yeah. I do, absolutely. But it's not in the way that you think. I mean, people think that I do think that some of them are doing ritualistic things, but I mean that, like, obviously Satan is influencing all of that. I mean, in a very spiritual way also. Yeah, the left is hypocritical. Really hot take. The left is hypocritical. That's crazy. Yeah, I know. It's
Del R.
insane.
Fernandez sent $30. Ball with the bada bang to bang diggy 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 said the dig jig it up jump the boogie. Is more base than. Disfrutando de todas esas cosas que extran en las que se van.
I disagree.
Up the RA sent $20. Why are you using Candace's time travel statement to define what the white nationalist movement is? She's a Negroid. I followed you because I do love Hitler's policies and vision for his people. You are not Hitler, I see, unfortunately. You think it's just an edgy joke. You are not even touching George Rockwell's aura this year.
George Rockwell. Okay, yeah, bye. Thank you.
Ground beef grow I sent $20. EFJ greater than ERN greater than EFN greater than ERJ.
I don't know what that
Bobby
is.
Groy % $20. I didn't feel antagonized by the show. Obviously not, nigga, you're a Mexican.
I haven't heard that one.
Limbo sent $20.
That's hot.
You ever think of
That's
trying
hot
out yoga
take.
or meditation, Nick Kababa?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely
Del R.
not.
Fernandez sent $20.
You see me doing yoga, you see me doing that. I can't just on principle. I just won't do it. Could you imagine me meditating? Could you imagine me sitting on the floor? Come on. Doing yoga? No, I just can't. I am a snob. I'm not going to do that. That's too Eastern. That's too stupid and goofy. Yoga. Yeah, I'm going to be doing fucking yoga. I think I'd rather die.
Del R. Fernandez sent $20. Watching the two halftime shows side by side. Why is everything Christians make so lame now? Bad movies, bad music, bad art. It feels forced, reactionary and cringe. We used to make cathedrals, mosaics, good films.
Oh my
Maybe the initial
gosh,
motive is to self-ghettoize, like you said.
That's amazing.
Sean Connery sent $25.
Amazing.
It was announced that Archbishop Fulton Sheen's beatification is moving forward and he will be one step away from being the first U.S.-born male saint. As someone who has brought so many to the Catholic Church via broadcasting, you follow in his footsteps. May he pray for you and all of us. God bless, brother.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Very
Gerald
based.
Lyman Taft Smith sent $20. American citizenship being special started fading when we let a Catholic Mexican define America first. No doubt you like Bad Bunny's definition of America because it includes you.
Holy see.
Gerald Lyman Taft Smith sent.
The difference is I'm fighting. You're nothing. You know, people love to say that. Well, you're Mexican. Well, you have, okay, well, you're nothing. You're not fighting anything. You have some job somewhere, you know, so all of that purity and $1 will buy you a cup of coffee. Show me the fucking fighters.
Gerald Lyman Taft Smith sent $20. We invited foreign blood onto our soil and it dictated to us that Mexicans are white and Jews are
No,
not.
brother.
Have you asked your parents how relieved they were when you came out passing for white?
Very good.
Put 1 trillion sent $20.
Very
What
impressive.
7 countries share a border with Iran?
Oh, easy. 7 countries share a border with Iran. Okay, let's go. Iraq, Azerbaijan, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and let's see. And Turkey? Might be wrong about that. The rest of them I'm confident in. Does Turkmenistan, or do they just border the sea? Let me check. That's a toughie. Yeah, I think I got them all right, yeah? Yes, I did. Wow. Amazing. Oh, did I? And I was going to say Kuwait, but no, they don't share a border. Good. Let's see. Oh, no, not Tajikistan. Okay, I'm wrong about that one. Armenia, of course. Okay, well, barely. Okay, it's Armenia, not Tajikistan. That's my bad. Damn. Well, close enough. Close enough.
Proud
It's
Patriot
late.
sent
I'm
$20.
tired.
New here. Nice to meet you, Nick. About time there was a channel with AF in mind.
Yeah.
Candace Owens doesn't have a dad sent $20. Nicholas, do you have any comment on Venezuela shipping its first crude oil cargo to Israel? By the way, I just saw a rumor at the Pentagon.
Not really. That's to be expected.
Landlord Chad sent $25. MAGA influencers cheering the new mega ICE detention centers feel like the USNS Comfort during COVID all over again. A giant political prop rolled out for optics and inevitably vacant. If deportations are limited to criminals, who exactly is filling a 825,000 square feet center in Maryland?
What is this, a conspiracy now? The detention center is for what? For patriots or anti-Semites? I don't know. I think that's just I don't buy that.
Clanagular bone smashing in an Arizona prison broiler sent $25. Wang shirt came in the mail today. My sister and I finally match. Next order is for a mom who asks about you frequently. Much love from the entire family. Johannes, you're a fat ass. America first always.
All right, thank you very
a drunk
much.
6,969 sent $20. I want to be a cowboy. Baby riding at night because I sleep all day cowboy. Baby I can smell a pig from a mile away.
Okay.
David Lancaster, witness of the generational run, sent $20. Sorry to stun lock you so hard with Dwarf, but I really appreciated and respected how much you tried to work through it before reading chat. This week's is slightly easier, but I hope you still find it engaging, and a reprieve from the suicide-inducing super chats. Identify the 5 3-letter body parts above the neck.
Dumb, not gonna do
What
it.
the Plank sent $100. You knocked it out the park last night and Friday night with your shows on Epstein. You are an absolute genius and the smartest person I've come across in my 50-plus years on this planet. Thank you for all you do for this country. We don't deserve you. I do have a question. Who gets sent to the gulags first when you become president?
Well, thank you for the big super chat. Women get sent to the gulags first, obviously.
Yes, they can work this
which women?
work
All
off
women.
the debt.
Every woman and girl is sent to the gulags. We will determine who the good ones
They have to
are
earn
after
it.
the fact.
They have to earn it.
What about the good ones? What about the trad ones?
They got to
First of
put their
all, there are
fucking
no
time
trad
in
ones
first.
or good ones.
They
Second
can
of
be
all,
under
we
the
will
jackboot
determine
for a little
which
while.
ones are acceptable after they're all imprisoned. Then we will let them out. You have to do it because those are our political enemies. You want to know our number? This is unironically just
true.
true.
Have to pay for it.
The number one political enemy in America is women. Straight up, I'm just telling you. I'm telling you like it is. People might say it's Jews, it's Democrats,
they're the only
it's
ones
white
with
liberals, it's leftists, it's the Chinese.
With the electoral
Our number one
weight.
political enemy is women. Because women constrain everything, every conversation, every man, everything.
Fucking tone policing.
They have to be imprisoned. They are the ones that are hurting the fertility rate. They're the ones making us sympathetic to poor people, which are also brown people. You know, when I want you to understand something. When you're sympathetic to poor people, you're sympathetic to brown people because brown people are poor. Okay.
They don't get
Not
up
all
off
poor
their
people
ass
are
and
brown,
do shit.
but most brown people are poor. So women are making us sympathetic to poor people, aka brown people. Women are making us sympathetic to George Floyd. Women are the reason that their fertility rate is low because they're getting educated and they attack every man as a rapist and a pedophile. And they're henpecking and controlling all the men. So just like Hitler imprisoned gypsies, Jews, communists, you know, all of his political rivals, we have to do the same thing with women. And we'll sort it out. We'll find the good ones. They can prove themselves. Then we'll let them go. So they go to the gulag first. They go to the breeding gulags. The good ones will be liberated. The bad ones will toil in the mines forever.
Narlord sent $20. Did you see Carrie Prejean Buller take on Zionists only for Lila Rose and Catholic News Agency to attempt to defend Zionism and condemn her?
No.
Through Christ alone.
I did not see
Brave
that.
Cadet sent $20. Braveheart or Apocalypto?
Braveheart.
Oh my gosh, dude. Well, which Mel Gibson
Braveheart
movie you
all
like
day.
better? What's your favorite Mel Gibson movie?
There's a movie where he
What's your
plays
favorite Mel?
a farmer in Tennessee. It's called The River, where him and his family with Sissy Spacek, they're fighting this river that keeps rising, and there's a big farm, conglomerate farm, trying to take his land. And it's just the most American, the most just like, man, really makes you feel proud of being a white American. The dude just digs in, grits his teeth, and gets shit done. Him and his boy, his wife and his daughter, his little daughter, like just helping him just get through it and endure. It's such a good movie. It's called The River. You should check it out.
Gibson movie. Mine's Apocalypto. I don't know, dude.
Mel Gibson's
I
the
didn't really
lead.
finish Braveheart. I fell asleep during it. So I guess Apocalypto. I just
Apocalypto
like
was good.
Apocalypto for that scene when the Spanish come in. That was the hardest twist ever in a movie. The rest of the movie, it's kind of weird, but it's
Pretty
worth
good.
it alone for the ending.
Jack Jenny sent $20. Are you willing to entertain Yanis Varoufakis' techno-feudalism model as a groundwork for the movement? Obviously, he's
shut
literally
the
infected when it comes to
fuck
open borders, yet John
up.
Fetterman and Bernie Sanders exist. How much solidarity do we show with the left, and how do we build consensus in a post-consensus society?
Are you willing to entertain Yanis Varoufakis' techno-feudalism model? Are you willing to entertain
Gene Luke
Shut
123
Up?
sent $20. Are these chuds bothering you, Prince? One Oits Johnny sent $20. Showed girlfriend clip of your crash out on ice skating and hot cocoa. You described her restaurant food choices to a D hilarious. Her jaw dropped and said you're very fucking a monster. Well done.
Yeah, very good. That's very I thank you for sharing this story with me about this conversation you had with my girlfriend. Thought it was really funny. I'm glad I could gesture max for your girlfriend. Thank you for sharing. It makes me feel great. What, she like the lobster ravioli, the vodka pasta? Fucking stupid bitch. Fucking women, man. I swear. Run, don't walk to the... What are those TikToks? Run, don't walk to the hottest new Italian. Trivoli Tavern in Chicago. Their vodka pasta was creamy and delicious. And don't miss out on the... What is it? The toffee pudding. We got an espresso martini for dessert. Just want to fucking go off. Yeah, you're telling me how I'm gesture maxing for your girlfriend. Women are so retarded. It's just, I literally
Yeah,
can't.
Apocalypto was dope. But yeah, Braveheart.
Like,
I think
even
it was
listen,
the better
and
movie,
I like
better
Brett
story.
Cooper. Hey,
Oh,
it's all love.
I just liked it better.
But do you remember when Brett
Scottish.
Cooper was watching my stream with Sneeko and Clav, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, Clav and Sneeko and Nick are just walking around Miami," and she points out this like trendy Italian restaurant in Brickell, and she's like, "They passed by this Italian restaurant. Did they get the vodka pasta?" And it's like, no, we didn't get the. Just because your trendy Italian restaurant made a cameo doesn't mean we get. And by the way, can I just say this much? Vodka pasta is overrated. Frequently tasteless, frequently flavorless. Women don't care. They go to the Italian place in St. Regis. They go to Trivoli. You know, they go to these different places. You know, that's okay. I mean, the food is good or whatever, but they literally just go there because it's on TikTok. They go there with their girlfriends. They want their man to take them there and throw down his card. The way he threw down his card was so sexy. It literally doesn't matter. The way my boyfriend was 6'5" and threw down his card when the bill came and he paid for all the drinks and appetizers was so sexy. Women are tasteless. They have no taste. They just go for whatever's trendy. Whatever's on TikTok, whatever has like a cool backdrop, you know, like a cool atmosphere, a cool vibe. They're not actually there for the food. They're not there for the food. It's all bullshit. Okay? Me, I like to go to these like old school places. I like to go and get a beef sandwich. I like to go and get a hot dog, a burger. I like to go into these old places that mobsters go to get peasant Italian food. And that's what I like. And women want to go to something that they saw on TikTok so they could get their espresso martini. Like the song. They could get their lobster ravioli. They could get their braised short rib, sushi thing or whatever. It's all Asian fusion. It's all like new Italian, Asian fusion. They need to be hit in the face with reality. They need to be hit in the mouth with reality. With a reality check. So yeah, love it.
Frostad Moonwalk said $100. We know that in the next governor election in 2026 for Ohio that there's a lot at stake and obviously we can't stand Vivek. Any thoughts on Casey Putsch who is running? Be blessed. Christ is king.
I like him. I think he's great. And we'll be talking with him very soon. Thank you for the big super chat. I appreciate it. I like Casey Putsch. Thank you very much.
Taylor Worth sent $25. I've been using the archive to get answers to questions before I send the super chats. I couldn't find your thoughts on Patel and Bongino before they got positions in the FBI. Do you think they were really pursuing the truth about Epstein and got intimidated, or were they plants from the beginning?
They were plants from the beginning since they were born. They were psychics and they got groomed by the men in hats. Dude, who knows? I think, there's forces more powerful than them. They probably just got told to stand down.
Day one Heritage American sent $100. You have framed the changing of your voice on positions of race and immigration through a lens of evolution, maturity, and acceptance. You go as far as to say people are hateful to not want Mexicans and Spanish in their city. For years, your show was defined by these same
truths.
When
did I say that?
These are still truths, even if they aren't good for your brand. The truth hasn't changed. You have.
You're just an idiot, and you haven't watched my show, and you could go watch something else. Thank you for the bit. When have I ever said it's hateful? I've never said it's hateful to not want Mexicans in your... When have I ever said that, you fucking idiot? You fucking stupid idiot. That's my favorite. I've been doing this show for 10 fucking years. I've been doing this dumbass show for 10 years. People get red pilled a year ago and they say, you've changed. It's like, you don't even know me. You don't know anything. Stupid
Respect
ass.
that Putin sent $50. The performance contained the seed of an idea. If white Americans and Latinos lock arms over our shared colonial roots, then that excludes Indians and Muslims, who have no claim to America. And when you look at Europe, which is being raped by Eritreans and the messaging is Europeans don't exist, a handshake with the Latinos becomes compelling.
If only that were true.
Noisy95 sent $20. Holy moly, it was an eye-opener seeing how Jews can pray with a black cube made of dead cow strapped to their head and arm. One Jew in the video called it spiritual technology. I felt creeped out.
Another black cube, huh? The tefillin. And they're all doing it. They're all rapping tefillin. Pay attention. Joe Lonsdale, Sean McGuire, that Adam douchebag from PBD.
Avi Christus Rex sent $20. Massive L distancing yourself from white nationalism yesterday. White Pill Girl sent $50, arguing that the halftime show was inconsequential because it's African-American sports ball just shows your contempt for average white Americans. It was
true. 100 fucking percent. 100 fucking percent, stupid. Arguing that the halftime show is inconsequential because it's sports ball just shows you want to know why? Because average white Americans are medicating themselves to death. You're right. If your life consists in drinking phytoestrogens and watching the game, like, you're being killed. You're being murder raped and you don't even care. 100% correct. Correct, sir. Arguing that the halftime is yeah, fuck you. Seriously. You want me to pander to you? I so hate that. You're literally a white nigger. That is what you are. It's literally like when a black person says, you switched up on us. You ain't hood. You ain't hood. You ain't from the hood. It's literally the same thing when white people say, y'all ain't like the big game. You just hate us poor folk. Go ahead. Call us hillbillies. It's like, brother, you need to get over it. Get a grip. We are at war. Put down the remote. Put the beer down. Put the Bud Light down. Bud Light is for closers only. You are being raped.
Oh, wow. He did the fucking, what the hell was that from?
You want me to feel what you think I'm going to be?
Not the usual suspects. Glengarry Glen Ross.
Your contempt for us average
fucking
people.
coffee is for closers, bitch.
Get a grip.
You get no coffee.
Put the beer down. Put the fucking game down.
Such a good movie.
Take off your jersey and put on a soldier's uniform. We're at war. That just goes to show you're not willing to pander to my sensibilities. You're not willing to meet me where I am on my couch. You are being raped to death, and you want me to pander to you? Well, we like our game. Well, we like our big game. Okay, pal. You have been cucked for 10 years, dumbass. How many years has the Super Bowl had a non-white performer? 7? 7 years? How many Super Bowls they have a gay kiss? How many Super Bowls are they doing BLM, Pride Month? How many Super Bowls are they doing some middle finger to white America? And you go, well, if you don't care about the Super Bowl, you just don't like us poor folk, us average, us everyday people. Yeah, I don't understand that mentality. I don't watch these humiliation rituals. You know, I'm not buying in. You know, I get together with my friends. It's an excuse to get together. I'm not buying in. That's not my livelihood. You know, I'm not on DraftKings. I'm not on Polymarket, all you faggots betting on this shit. Because that's what it is. Nobody.
Richard
I got
Hanania has
it.
been verbally attacking these
Fucking
idiots lately.
bitches.
Are you really connected
Fuck
in
you,
Washington?
you two.
Do you guys have cleats there? Kurt Meals, Richard Hanania, Ryan Grimm, WTF is it like? Drama?
I don't know any of these people. I talked to Hanania. I've never met him. I text him now and then. Kurt Mills, I don't know. He's a nerd. Ryan Grimm, I don't know. He followed me on Twitter. I followed him back. You know, I kind of like him, but he's also kind of like a white cuck liberal. But I haven't talked to him before. So, I don't talk to anybody. I don't talk to anybody. I'm a hermit. I'm the hermit kingdom. Okay.
Day one Heritage American sent $50. It isn't progressive or enlightened to accept Latino futurism, which is simply white replacement. DPUSA has always put out slob.
brother.
You used to mock them for that very
Yes, I
reason.
got it.
Inclusive populism has always been the left's message. They thought they could leave us behind. They were just too soon. You having no solutions doesn't mean they're right.
Okay, you're an idiot.
Burndo 27 sent $20. Hey smartass, did you see that Biolab Vegas that was wicked crazy?
Yeah.
Sherelle writes your thanks.
Fucking
Fine sent $20.
bastards,
Grateful for your thought
man.
leadership in the face of group shut.
Cut my
Chuds-
shit.
the
Trying to
Chuds
cut
are
my
killing
shit
us.
short.
The Chuds cannot
I'm
be
too
in
on
charge.
point for that
Secretary sent
shit.
$20. The underlying
I've been
objective of the
catching it
halftime show was to
lately.
expand the NFL market to the rest of the
Fuck you,
Americas.
you two.
Roger Goodell wants it like soccer.
Fucking
Bigger market.
cucks.
Mucho más dinero.
Yeah,
Cock
I agree.
Willie
smokers.
Nail sent $50. White TF is nobody mad about how the FBI got the Nest footage to Nancy Guthrie's porch. 10 days later from Google, oh, we just found some leftover metadata in the cloud and there it was. Camera was disconnected and she had no subscription. We know what they're doing with our private data, but now it's just in our face. Can't do shit anymore.
I guess, bro. Yeah, Israel killed her, I think.
Yeah, I can't believe
What do
I
you
caught that
mean?
again. 2 days in a row.
Are you saying like they spied on her or what? They spied on the camera? Yeah, that's pretty suspicious. If that's what you mean, then you're
Chuck
right.
Johnson's cellmate sent $25. Seuss was right. Hope you caught the OMG story on Tyreman being ISDNY/FBI
Somebody
informant
commented
today.
on my
How many
video
of us
last
are out there?
night.
Does
They
someone
shouted
investigate
me.
D24
They did a
next?
shout
Why
out,
are
I
we
guess,
friendly
on
Libya for the
Nick's
bombing?
show
Can
in
we
the
get a Chuck Johnson
chat or
emoji?
something.
Free my
Super
nigga
chat or
FR.
some
Locked
shit.
up while rats like Tyreman live free getting rich.
Pretty cool.
I talked
That's
to
what he said
Chuck,
anyway.
and he seems like he's doing okay. I got to go and see him. I got to go and meet up with my friend. Old Chuck, my man, Chuck Johnson. You son of a bitch. Chuck Johnson, you son of a bitch. Of all the gin joints and bars in the world.
Casablanca.
Old Chuck. We love him. I did see the OMG story. Yeah, that guy was always sus.
Dark X Wolf 17
Very
cent $20.
sus.
Hey Nick, can you wish me luck on my math test and physics test tomorrow? I might be cooked, but last time I asked I clutched up, so I'm hoping for a win. Love your shows, by the way.
Hey,
AF.
good luck, man. Good luck with your homework. That's so crazy. Niggas be like, can you wish me luck on my homework? Can you wish me luck on my math test? It's like, dude, I'm so old. Don't get old, kids. Highly overrated. And one day you'll be an old fart like me. Kids will be coming up to you. Hey, old man. Hey, unk. Wish me luck on my math quiz. You'll be posting about your Grammys nominee CDs, and they'll be saying, what is 2005? I wasn't born in 2005. Okay, well, you know, it'll happen to you too, all right? It will happen to you too, I promise you. One day you'll be an old fart. Wrinkles, your skin starts sagging, you get a little chubby.
I guess I am kind of making waves.
Everybody hates you for being alive.
Avi Chris just
That's
Rex
the
sent
idea.
$20. MAGA movement exploded in
That's the
2015 because
idea,
Trump backed
man.
into white nationalist Americanism.
Not
because
on
he's a
here
NY socialite.
talking
We are the biggest voting bloc, albeit disorganized
into the
and without
ether
representation.
for
No, you're not.
my health.
And you saying that just shows you're an idiot.
Gonna
Big
make
Dick
a
Randy
difference.
1998 sent
So
$20.
stupid.
Good evening, Nick. Pre-show chat.
Get out here and
27
hit
years
some
slash
licks
veteran.
for a
Husband and
white
father
for the
of two.
white man.
I'm like 20 days older than you.
Hit some
I've been a fan of the show
licks.
for about a year. First time super chat. Can't believe I didn't find this show
Let's
sooner.
go.
Continue accumulating power and advancing the truth. The generational run was just the start. AF.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Whoa, we're the same age. Husband, father of two. I can't even imagine.
No shit.
Can't even imagine.
He's
I don't know how you
he's
niggas
talking
do
shit
it.
to us
But
when
good for
he's
you.
the little
Somebody
cuck
needs
sitting
to,
in his fucking house.
Somebody
Oh,
needs to
don't
make
hurt
the babies.
me.
Here's the deal. I'll make the content. You make the babies.
We're
all
out
right?
there fucking
You're
living
doing a
life,
good
working
I'm
jobs.
creating content. You're creating
He's inside,
content. You're
like
creating
me,
genetic
talking
content,
to a fucking camera.
you know,
Dash sent $20. What are you giving up for Lent?
fake niggas, bullshit, hoes, gaslighting.
Shavery sent $20. People who put red onions on burgers and cook fries and duck fat are pretentious and their food is trash. Why try to fix something that isn't broke?
Yeah, I agree. The duck fat is overrated. There's a stupid place here in Oak Park. It's called like Duck something Tavern.
Absolutely.
And they're like, oh, we cook everything in duck fat. It's totally average fucking bullshit bar food. We cook everything in duck fat. Red onions, red onions are okay. I sort of agree with you, but I mean, burgers, I'll experiment a little. I'll experiment.
Big ol' Balaoga bigger lover with a fat gold digger mother sent $20. Ye is trying to slip anti-Semitic symbols into his songs. N is the 14th letter in the alphabet. Heil Hitler starts with H's, which is the 8th letter. NHH equals 1,488.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is unacceptable.
Kind of
Big Dick Randy
interesting.
1998 sent $20. Good evening, Nick. Pre-show chat.
It's a duplicate.
Anonymous sent $20. White nationalism as a label has too much baggage ATP. The romanticism of downwardly mobile low human capital trailer park life, alt medicine and conspiracy cookery, genocidal hate of other races
You're
and Nordicism against
overthinking
non-Germanic whites, paganism, blaspheming Jesus. Other than pro-whiteness, I have nothing in common with it.
You're overthinking it, okay? If you listen to what I said, it was very clear. The guy was like doing this Inquisition thing, purity spiraling. It was a purity check. And he goes, are you even a white nationalist? And I gave a rhetorical answer, which is, I don't feel like one because it's losers like you that are ruining it. And people go, you're not a white nationalist anymore. It just goes to show, it's so low IQ. Like I can't stand being around these goyim. Sometimes I wonder how dumb these goyim actually are. Sometimes I wonder. You ever see that clip? Sometimes I wonder how dumb these goyim actually are. That's how I feel. Goyim in abundance, Jeffrey Epstein. No, he's a monster. No, that's not funny. It's not funny. He has no aura. I don't care how rich he was or how big his island was. He had no aura. Jeffrey Epstein, if you can hear us, please save us from these Goyim. Dude, spare me from these Goyim. These fucking Goyim, dude. I swear, if I see another Goyim Lives Matter protester, I'm running his ass over with my car. If I see one more stupid ass, Goyim ass face with the sign protesting in the street, my life matters, I'm just hitting the gas. I'm going clavicular on a nigga. I'm running a nigga over with the Cybertruck with my bitch. And we're on K. Shut the fuck up. Goyim Lives Matter. Abolish world Jewry. Goyim Lives Matter. It's like, dude, without world Jewry, Goyim would be running wild. That's a joke, obviously. We do need to abolish world Jewry. It's just a joke. We're just doing a bit here. Everybody relax. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I do wonder how dumb the Goyim sometimes
Clayton 2
are.
sent $20. We thought you backed preserving white American culture, but your SB halftime take shows you embrace a melting pot America where English is optional. You'd rather be different and cool than principled.
You're right. I am cool. That's a good point. You're good. Great. Good point. I am different and cool. True. Those are words I would use to describe myself. Different, cool, innovative, forward thinking. Yeah. Your charge is that I'm cool. Okay. I'll take
Dog
it.
X Wolf 17 sent $100. Here's your money, whore. Do a little dance for me.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks for the money, bitch. So you'd rather be what? Cool? Exciting? Different? than principled? You know what's so funny about that? You know what's so funny? Principles are literally a joke. It's a bad joke, okay? You know what we used to say about conservatives? We used to literally mock them for being principled. That just goes to show what a noob you are. Because in the old days, we would mock so-called principled conservatism, the principles. You know what we called them? Beautiful losers. That's what Sam Francis called them, beautiful losers, clinging to their principles, their ideological purity, which is a form of vanity, actually, because they didn't care about winning. You're right. Fuck principles. You know what I care about? Winning at any cost. And if you don't, kill yourself. What do you care about?
That's my nigga.
Losing? You're right. I don't care about principles. People say, you're a flip-flopper. I'm not running for office. You're right. I only care about one thing, winning. That's it. That's my only principle. You're right. He has no principles. He believes in nothing. I believe in one thing, victory. I believe in winning at any cost. That's my principle. If we don't win, we die. If we don't win, we get killed. We get raped. Our society is destroyed. What do you care about more than winning? What's more important than winning? People talk about my principles. It's the principle of the matter. Fuck you. We have to win.
Bro, this is exactly what
If
I'm
you don't
fucking
care about winning, it's because you have the
about.
luxury of
That's
not
why I'm
caring.
doing this.
It's because you have a very
trying to
high
hit a
time
lick.
preference.
Trying to fucking make a difference for us.
People say, I don't care about winning. I care about the principle.
I
of the
like
matter.
winning.
We don't have that luxury anymore. We have to win. If we don't win, it's over. You realize
can't let
that?
these
It's over.
stupid
It's not like an election where you lose and we get them
brown
again in 2
people
years. If we lose this one, the white race is
breed us into the
finished.
ground
We are extinct.
and destroy
Okay,
us, just like
they
he's
rape
saying.
our women, they kill our children, they desecrate our corpses, they destroy our monuments, they blot out our memory from the history books, and all of our knowledge is lost. You're telling me you care about something other than winning? Then I don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah.
You'd rather win than be principled. You're fucking damn right I am.
Fucking A.
You are
Damn
100% right. I
Fuck
don't give a
winning
fuck about principles. I care
with
about
the
winning.
high road or
That's what everybody
being
needs to care
principled
about, at any
losers.
cost.
Fuck that.
We have to be flexible.
no
We have to be
fucking
pragmatic. We have
good.
to be formless. We have to be willing to be a little bit shameless.
Yep.
We have to be a little bit shameless to get where we want to go.
And be
You're
arrogant
clinging
and
to all these other
cocky.
things. We have to die
We
to
gotta
ourselves.
do it.
And do whatever it takes
Start
to win.
being belligerent,
mentality
taking up
when I do
space, like he
politics.
says. Fuck these Muslims.
That's
That's
why
what
I'm
they're
successful
doing.
and they're not. All these people that are griping about principles, they don't use their real face and name. They don't have a platform. They don't make money. They don't have connections. They don't break the internet every few months because they care about everything other than winning. So, get with the program or get out of the way. That's my mentality. That's a winner mentality.
Big Dick Randy 1998 sent $20. Your take on Winter Olympics in Milan? Is supporting the games nationalistic still, or is the Olympic Commission cooked? Did you hear about the protest against Israel surrounding the athletes' village? The Winter Olympics are the white race's last exhibition of athletic excellence, not being overshadowed by African Americans.
I don't really have a take on the Winter Olympics.
Sniper sent
honestly.
$20. How about a maroon AF hat to match my maroon shirt?
Very good. A maroon beret, perhaps. We need some maroon berets. We got to be able to coordinate somehow. How are we going to coordinate our multinational kill squad? How are we going to... How else would we coordinate and recognize each other on the day of our multilateral hit squad when we kill our high-value target if we weren't all wearing the same color t-shirt and hat? Like... Did everybody get your I'm Here to Kill Charlie Kirk t-shirt and hat today? Did everybody get your wristband and lanyard? So we're going to send out a blast email. You're going to want to sign up for the email blast. The day of the hit, we're going to send you all the details. We're going to have a booth. You'll get your lanyard, your wristband, you get your t-shirt. It says, I'm here to kill Charlie Kirk. and then a chaperone is going to point you to your location. All the crisis actors, we're going to meet the day before for a dress rehearsal. We're going to order some snacks, some insomnia cookies at 2 a.m. We're going to do a little all-cast party, little send-off for the director, and then, then it's the big day, okay? And so we're going to have our fake weapons. We're going to have our energy weapons. We're going to be in communication with Moloch in Israel. The Egyptian plane is ready to go when we're finished. There's going to be some buses. You're either on bus number 1 or bus number 2. Don't forget your number. It's going to the Provo airport. We're getting on the military plane, and then we're all going to Egypt, okay? Because how else would you do it? How else would you coordinate a hit squad if you didn't all have the t-shirt, you know? That's so crazy that she believes everyone that was wearing maroon is like a crisis actor. They were just hoping no one would notice. Nobody's going to know. They're not going to notice. Nobody's going to know. Everybody that was there to kill Charlie Kirk was wearing the same shirt, hoping no one would figure it out. If word gets out that maroon is commonly associated with the military, then we're fucked. The whole operation is blown. They're going to be able to identify everybody. I imagine everybody that was there to kill Charlie Kirk, they heard that Candace Owens was onto them about the maroon shirts, and they started freaking out. They started burning all their clothes. They got their passports. She's on to us.
Gambling Saint sent $20. I didn't know JD Vance played guitar.
Guitar. Oh, the guy.
Jason Bailey sent $20. Thoughts on James Fishback backing you? Love the show, brother. Christ is king.
I love James Fishback. I think he's been excellent. He's been wonderful.
Deadass Tom sent $20.
I'll
Bro
be
decided to
voting
fit today
for
was a
him.
jar of Hellman's. Skull emoji.
Not James.
I don't get it. Oh, because it's
Is it
blue and
James
yellow. This is a
Fishback?
very common combination, okay? This is fine.
Mr. Dissident sent $20. Use AI to
Fucking
translate the Bad Bunny lyrics,
blanking.
especially Safara. You're in for a
In a few
surprise.
hours.
Okay, so first the problem was we can't understand the lyrics. Now the problem is if we translate them on Google, they are very offensive. Okay. Yeah, it's very
Soggy
offensive.
Biscuit 99 sent $21. It ain't easy being country. When I saw Bad Bunny, I dropped my dip into my beer mid-show, beat my wife/cousin, and then went outside and flipped over my mobile home. The true
Ugh.
hillbilly elegy.
Horrible
Mug
super
Cake sent
chat.
$20. Truth nuke on clarifying your Super Bowl take. Also, whatever happened to Panther Den?
Who cares? Who cares? Ask all
Sex
those
Panther.
losers defending him
Cancel
all the
Groyd
time.
sent $20. White people got too comfortable accepting participation trophies. No balls. Just a girl
No
sent
balls.
$100.
Yeah.
Did
Need
it?
to fucking
Suit and tie look very sharp.
Start
Prayers to
talking
you.
like we got a
Hey,
pair.
thank you for the big super chat. So
Sacking
much
up.
hostility tonight. Everybody's coming for my neck. Thank
It is
you.
Artifice sent $20.
Yeah, 'cause you
All-American
fucking
halftime
laid
show
an
for
egg
America.
last night,
Look at
shit
yourself, some
lips.
American goy. Cry for how pathetic
That was
you
a
are.
fucking
It's not you.
garbage
No one
show,
seems to
man.
understand the average American. No one seems to get
The
we're aware they're real
stinker.
communists with real power we have to counter, and we're aware what that means. Avi Christus Rex sent $20. False dichotomy. You don't have to like one to not like the other. We need a pro-nationalist renaissance. Young energetic artists espousing patriotic nativism. Win the
Ugh.
culture war as well as political.
Ugh, yeah, that nothing's gonna get people inspired like that. We need patriotic nativism. Shoot, shut up.
Native Colonial sent $50.
Just
Texas
stop,
Indian-born GOP chairman
please.
Abraham George has announced his campaign for a second term. The state of Texas also harbors the most H-1B visa holders out of any state in the union. Even though he has come out against H-1Bs, can we truly trust an Indian-born Christian to be a bulwark against such policies and halt Indian migration into Texas?
I don't know him, but no.
Grow if I sent $20. You don't have to suck Bad Beaner's dick to retaliate against the Pusa cringe, by the way.
Okay.
Fresh Focky username sent $20. I remember when all the gas stations near me were owned by local families. I bought a 16-ounce beer every day after work for years from these nice old men. Am I a faggot for missing that so much? Chicken Tendiegro I percent $30. You're the only political streamer worth watching. What do you attribute your savvy political takes to?
I actually am capable of thinking. Most of these people don't think about it. Like, they don't think, they don't read. Many of them are just stupid. I don't even think I'm the smartest guy in the world, but I try to say something different, and I have my own thoughts, and I do read, and it's really that simple.
Nivel Codiciato sent $20. Hey, my cortisol king. White men need to stop being Simpson cucks for women and instead man up and show these women who's daddy. Don't get
Okay.
replaced.
Yeah, great.
Propeller Dog sent $20. Mia Whale died in the halftime show. Montana Fed sent $50. Hey Nick, first time super chatter. I'm asking if you could pray for my father. Today he had a heart attack and it's been tough on all of my family. I wanted to thank you for making me smile today. Less than 3 you.
Well, sorry to hear that. We'll be praying for him. Thank you very much for the super chat. God
Success
bless.
is a mindset sent $20. The reason people are pissed at you for your halftime show take is because you're celebrating it. There's a difference between understanding what they did but condemning it and celebrating it. WTF.
I don't care. The reason people are mad at you I don't even know you people. I don't know even one of you. And you're all probably stupid and poor. Why would I? We're mad at you. Okay. Like, I like the show. Yeah, I like the
He's
show. I
allowed to
like
like
the
it.
music. Okay, go ahead. Cancel me.
He
You
likes
cancel me for
Kanye
liking a
too.
song? I don't
He has
even know who
pretty
you
lousy music taste, if you ask
are.
me.
Someone out there on the planet is
Like,
mad
I
because I
listen to
like a
fucking
song.
Mozart and
Okay, you probably
Beethoven
listen to
and Bach.
garbage anyway. You have no
Bra sent
taste.
$20.
That's
When
what
Willie
I
Woods, the
listen
killer, got brutally
to.
frame mobbed by the ASU frat leader. I honestly can't even remember. Everything feels different since that moment. Is it possible for humanity to recover from this, or will we spiral into unimaginable
Ugh.
chaos and anarchy? I fear we've met a
Terrible
truly
super
Apollonian /
chat.
Dionysian break.
It's like
Whisper
not
Glory sent
funny.
$50. 23-year-old Roy per pursuing my master's in nuclear engineering. Started watching in 2018 ever since I found you through James Alsop. Your show stopped me from hopelessly blackpilling as a teen and played a massive role in where I am today and my plans for the future.
Good.
Keep it up, Nick. God bless.
God bless you, man. I love this is why I do the show. I don't do the show for the chuds. I do the show for the incels.
For guys like
Not that
me.
you're an incel. I do it for the geniuses. We need nuclear engineers.
Yeah,
You know, we need
he's doing it
lawyers.
for
We need
guys like
real
me.
niggas like that.
Like, that's
So,
why I
good for
identify
you,
with him
man.
so
God
much.
bless
Nikolai
you.
as the goat sent
I
$50.
defend him
Interesting
because I
choice.
know what he's talking
What
about.
glue?
And
Belarus Roy sent $20.
people that get
DPUSA
pissed at him,
halftime show
they
with Tim
are
Bush
low
Nolan. Please
IQ.
clap.
Everybody I've
Sweet
seen
Mom sent $20.
try to
Local
bust his
nationalist
balls
sponsor
and
songs.
get me
Detroit
to
Nation,
join
Racing
in
Jesus.
on him
Econs are the most raped demographic
or
in
join
human
in
history.
with the
God
guy.
bless for putting up with this shit.
They're always
So
some
Francesco
low
sent
IQ
$100.
So
idiot.
hard
Thank you.
being me.
W distillation.
And I
If you're
just
gonna do a white excellence halftime show,
just
do
tell
a
him,
white
yeah,
excellence
shut the
halftime
fuck
show.
up. What are you,
And
a
it's with everything.
child?
We have fucking losers trying to brand whiteness. Not
Yep.
productive at all. I know it's a super reiteration chat, but I mean, sheesh. I'll give a white excellence halftime show. It's called America First with Nicholas J. Fuentes. Money.
Hey, thank you for the big super chat. Well said.
Big Butthole sent
Yep.
$20. If the left adopts a positive vision inclusive of white people, what should the right's positive vision be?
Empire. Empire, law and order, exceptionalism, European chauvinism, Christianity. Yeah, our totalizing vision is Christianity and greatness. I love a Make America Great Again. It's like we can all get behind being a great power, being a great nation, rededicating ourselves to vigor, intellectual pursuits, art, infrastructure, technology, our heritage. Like this is good stuff.
Art on
That's
Delay
the
5 sent
vision.
$50. Have we reached a stage where government corruption is so pervasive that officials no longer bother hiding it? Or has X exposed it soon enough to ensure accountability and protect our freedom? God bless.
They've never been hiding it because people don't care.
Blonde Groy Pat sent $20. W takes. Looking extra handsome tonight with the new suit.
Thanks. Thank you.
Shilling Donald sent $20. 2A is no less a right than 1A or 4A. Virginia is completely infringing upon that right of the people. Also, Virginia redistricting will affect House seats. Would you be willing to talk on this?
Okay, like about what?
David 2 times sent $20. Gotta give it to Israel. They sucker the US into giving them money and they go bomb motherfuckers. Hate them all you want, but they get shit done. Leviathan 1598 sent $100. Would you ever do a collab with Andrew Wilson?
Ever? Sure, yeah, why not? Thank you for the big super
Chris Tech
chat.
sent $100.
Yeah,
The
maybe.
Islamization of America. The Jews have several strings, Yeruvan, tied around different parts of Brooklyn. Lol, fuck these PPL.
Yep, thank you for the big super chat. I almost forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me that they
Ducati
do that.
Abrazi sent $20. At Ducati Abrazi, have you been to any of our Spanish missions here in California? They're historic treasures and always worth a visit.
No, I haven't.
Giazzi sent $25. Pull the bangs up. Let's see the hairline.
No.
Shenjamin 88 Papiro sent $20. Missing Armenia and Iran's border is heinous. This is the location of the trip project, for which your chuddy buddy JD is currently visiting the region. This geography blunder is worse than Vance deleting his Armenian genocide post. Nigga Heil Hinsdale. Line clown shit. Core Intelligence Agency sent $25. CK assassination. Probably not Jews. Fed. EP files. Pretty much Jews Jewin. Fed. JFC you can't win. Bought QZip today. Thanks for the Iran analysis.
Okay, I don't even
Arthur Schopenhauer
understand
sent
that.
$25. Have you ever read Anti-Intellectualism in American Life by Richard Hofstadter, 1964? We would love your criticism.
Nope.
Sunshine 1413 sent $20. Gen X mom of 2 Y who introduced me to you. I appreciate you and what you are doing, speaking the truth after all you've been through. May God bless and keep you.
Thank you. We love the moms. God
Pine
bless.
Sap sent $30.
Thank
Hey
you
buddy,
very much.
the grace of God is a beautiful thing. I just confessed for jerking off to you. Best Nanushka sent $30. Modern translation of Goyim, Piggers Goy, Pigger Goya, Pigris and I want a Goy boy t-shirt. Abolitionist of abortion sent $100. Nice suit, looking sharp.
Thank you for the big super chat. I appreciate
Bot
it.
Slop sent $25. Have you researched all that Robert Maxwell did for Israel? After he left, do you know who acquired MC Graw-Hill? Apollo Global Management, then Platinum Equity owned by Tom Gores. Never heard you talk about him, but the early life checked out.
Oh, awesome.
Joshua sent $25. Real nigga suit. Top tier Goy. Fed Silky sent $20. Thoughts on clip of white girl in NYC subway drop the hard R?
Didn't see
Tito
it.
sent $20. Why aren't you like clap bro? You need to start doing meth and bone smashing. Looking good that you could have sent. Francesco sent $100. The backlash here tonight from informing Americans that they've been castrated and need to be better if they want to win is amazing to see in real time. Best filter since filters. All these LARPing faggots talking about accountability and Americanism and white pride. Then you tell them to aspire to that and they start crying hard is embarrassing. Embarrassing. Embarrassing.
It is. We'll be the minority. That's okay. The Bolsheviks were the majority. You know what Bolshevik means? Bolshevik means majority.
And Menshevik means minority.
But it was ironic because the Bolsheviks were actually in the minority in the Russian Social Democratic Labor Party. But they were the strongest. They were the most militant. The Mensheviks were accommodationists. And who wins in the end? Is it the majority that accommodates the liberal reformers or the other groups? Or is it the more extreme, fanatical minority, the more vocal minority? It's us. So we will be in the minority. That's okay. We have to be okay with being in the minority if it means telling the truth. I'll take a smaller but a more vocal and a more powerful group.
Poop 97 cent $20. Groiper here in Papua New Guinea, holding the white flag high in this primitive paradise.
Wow, Papua New Guinea, huh? What's even going on over there? What even goes on over
Willie
there?
Nail sent $20. Holy shit, I wasn't talking about Israel. Was just saying the situation is sketch after 10 days to have a development like that. Don't shoot.
Okay. Okay, all right. Is Sneeko in the chat? People keep saying Sneeko. I don't know if he's oh, there he is. It hasn't loaded on here yet. Let me refresh.
And I had a fucking gnarly ass headache yesterday too during that stream. Bro, it just
is that the real
fucked, man.
Sneeko?
It would
Sneeko
not
for $67.
didn't let up to like the middle
Says,
of
do
the
you think
day
it was
today
really
either.
6 million? What if the reason Trump isn't releasing the Epstein files is because he was
Bullshit.
raped on the island?
Hate that.
That can't be the real Sneeko. That's
There's a
like
tension,
not,
like a neck.
there's no way that's the real guy,
Fuck.
is it? Or is he just trolling me? Is he fucking trolling me? Who that can't be him. That can't be the real. That's just like a low quality rage bait super chat. Is that actually him? That would be funny. Big Sneak. We love the Sneak, man. Old Sneak, my nigga. We love that guy. What a guy. Even if it's not really him, who cares? That's my nigga. That's that nigga that I like. The GOAT. Okay, all right. Well, that's our last super chat. It's not loading on here, so that's going to do it for me. That's all I got for you. It's late.
Yeah.
Remember to smash the follow. Oh, wait, here we go. I think we just got it. Here it
Sneeko
is.
sent $67. Do you think it was really 6 million? What if the
Very
reason Trump
good.
isn't releasing the Epstein files is because he was raped on the island?
That can't be real. All right, well, that's all we got. Remember to smash the follow button on Rumble, smash the like button, leave a comment, let me know what you think about the show. I'm on the air Monday through Friday. As always,
through
thank
the
you to
whole
our
stream.
top
Can't
super
complain.
chatters. Big thank you to
Fuck yeah. Some
Francesco.
of that bullshit.
Let me actually sort these. For some reason, it's including all the ones from the other day. Special thanks to Francesco, abolitionist of abortion,
I'm gonna try
Cruise Tech,
and,
Leviathan,
I'll have to look into that golden rule.
but
I'm gonna try and do
Dark Wolf,
try and get on like
Day
an hour
One
or two
Heritage
before
American,
Nick does from
Walk
now
the
on.
Plank, Frosted Moonwalk,
And,
whatever. El Chino
trying to
Stack,
figure out
Regulators.
how to get some